Hello and welcome to Valentine Sports Park for the National Premier League's New South Wales Women's Grand Final as Sydney University meet the Northern Tigers for the 2019 Championship. The Students' fourth appearance in the Grand Final in the last 5 seasons, and after a dominant season, they'll be looking to turn another premiership into a title. They failed to do it last season, and the Northern Tigers will hope to double the dosage here today. The Tigers have been huge improvers this season. Having seen Macarthur win from third last year, they'll have confidence they can do the same here today. Nothing is guaranteed in a grand final. All we know is a thrilling clash awaits. Adam Santarossa and Nicola Posda here with you. Let's look at the lineups. We'll start with the Northern Tigers. Eliza Campbell in goal for them. Ellie Brosh, Servet Uzunla, Hannah McNulty, Maddie Bart, Daisy Arrowsmith, Malia Steinmetz, Amy Phillips, Emma Watkins, Josie Wilson and Isabella Folletta. The substitutes: Daniel Bartels, Emma Smith, Beth Bernardi, Saba Murray and Sophie de Montmas. Sydney University, Courtney Newbon in goal for them. Annabelle Martin, Tori Tumeth. Taryn King will captain the side. Claire Wheeler, Rachel Sutar, Bianca Galich, Courtney Vine, Julianne Russell, Charlotte McLean and Holly Caspers completes the starting side. On the bench, Nikki Flannery, Melissa Caceres, Sarah Morgan, Carla Trimboli and Tegan Collister. Nicola, we are here at the grand final. What are we expecting today?
Look, what the Northern Tigers have managed to achieve this season, it's pretty incredible coming from where they were last year, and to find themselves in this position, I think they've really hit a major achievement for them. But Sydney University this season so far, they've just been so dominant and they've really put teams to the sword, and as we know, they haven't lost since round 4, so they are the favourites here today, I'd say.
Well, Sydney University, I mentioned in my opener, they've been in grand finals before. They've been the hot favourites going in. It hasn't always gone to plan. Is that on their minds at all this year?
Well, last year I think it was a hard break for them, really. You were at the game yourself, so they came so close, but in the end it was just the Rams really stuck it out in extra time and they got the job done.
We have seen some thrilling grand finals in recent years too. Last year was an absolute thriller. We've had 5-4, 4-3. It always seems to bring goals for whatever reason.
Yeah, the women's finals are always one to watch and one to write down in your calendar, and I think we may see a different grand final here today. I don't see a lot of goals. Both teams are very well drilled and their defences are at the top of their game most of the time, so I think we're going to be in for a tight one here today.
Well, the form guide suggests Sydney University are the hot favourites, but as we said, nothing guaranteed in grand finals. We've seen boilovers before, and the Northern Tigers, such a young side, maybe that inexperience, they won't be fazed by the occasion. But strap yourselves in. Thanks for your company here on the NPL New South Wales Facebook page and Football New South Wales YouTube page. Stay with us. They are always enthralling, the grand finals. Hoping for more of the same here this afternoon. It's been an absolute football fest here at Valentine Sports Park. We've had 10 grand finals all day. Let's hope this one continues the trend of thrillers we've had in previous seasons. Sydney Uni, of course, for the unfamiliar, in their yellow and blue, the black and white stripes for the Northern Tigers. They've had 10 of their men's sides here today to support underway in the 2019 Grand Final. Sydney University and the Northern Tigers, who will be champions.
Just on their support as well from their men's team, I think we're going to expect a bit of a loud bang in the next few minutes. Their men's team did just lose their elimination semi-final against the Bonnyrigg White Eagles, and they're always here to support their girls, so I'm sure they'll be here loud and proud very soon.
Here's Caspers, good touch. Sees away past her defender. Will be some nerves around. It is a big stage for these players. They've worked hard all year. Mentioned that inexperience of the Tigers as Eddie Bart gets an early touch. Can't quite link with Steinmetz. As Rachel Sutar helps it on. Courtney Vine scored plenty of goals again this season. She'll be one to watch. She was one of the standouts in that grand final here on this ground last year against the Macarthur Rams.
You did mention that the Northern Tigers are a little bit inexperienced, but when you look at their back three, including their goalkeeper, Eliza Campbell, they all have Matilda's caps between them, and I think that's really the heart of this Northern Tigers squad, and they're the ones that have helped them to their position on the table this season, and obviously this grand final.
Well done again from Steinmetz. She is pulled down off the ball. Racking up the touches already. Got a goal. last week as well. And that can always help the nerves. An early goal just settles sides down.
Well, we haven't really seen an early goal from Northern Tigers in this final series, so I think that'll be something rare for them to happen, but as you said, it's a grand final, it's a one-off game, anything can happen.
Well, that's it. Throw out the form guide at times. Matty Bart helps it on, trying to find Steinmetz again. Now trying to use the pace. Going the other way, the students. Courtney Vine, as Uzunla deals with that one.
Vine's such an important player to this uni team. She really offers something else, and she's definitely going to be someone we're seeing in the gold jersey of the Matildas in the future. Just her speed, her strength. She's a real modern striker, that number 9 that every team wants in their squad.
We see the composure of the students playing out from the back. As I say that, they've not exactly gone to plan. Courtney Newborn has to scamper it, so there's the commentator's curse for the first time here today.
I don't think Alex Opakis will be too happy with that comment. Adam, you better be careful, mate.
Don't think he's watching the stream, but who knows. Uzunla. We know she's played on the big stage, won't be too unfazed by this grand final.
A lethal right foot as well. She'll be taking almost every set piece for the Northern Tigers, definitely this afternoon. Nice crowd here as well today. Good to see for women's football.
Yeah, bumper turnout. They're in strong voice early. We had a massive crowd last night in the men's grand final, and it's continued here on what is a massive weekend of action. Tigers looking to turn some early possession into a goal. It's Hannah McNulty looking to provide some service. They'll still have it. The Tigers, who, as I mentioned, 9th last season, finished 3rd at the end of the regular season. They've had 2 defeats and a draw, though, this year, one against Sydney Uni, so they'll have to turn the form guide around. So Emma Watkins gets an important touch. Here's Uzunla. Just opens up the perspective. Ellie Brush shows her composure on the ball. Four-letter. Maddie Bart just stumbled. Four-letter helped her out. Steinmetz.
I reckon she'll say that was a trick, one that she's put out of the book, that one.
Uzunla trying to make something happen for the Tigers. It almost came all the way through to Amy Phillips. Newborn has to rescue her side again.
These two sides did meet only 2 weeks ago, and I can tell you that this is a very different game to what we saw then. The Northern Tigers are really holding the ball. Last time, the Sydney Uni pressure was getting to them.
Strong tackles in midfield. Well won by Claire Wheeler. Had to put the body on the line. Tigers do have the throw, though. Do have to congratulate Isabella Libri too. She's the woman in charge today. Gets the honour of the grand final, so congratulations to her. Here's Vine turning. Has support coming. Students trying to put the passes together. They didn't quite go to plan on that occasion. And there's probably perhaps those nerves I spoke of. Was Annabelle Martin unable to combine down this right flank with Holly Caspers. It's a beautiful Sunday for Father's Day here in Sydney, and ideal conditions for the players. Slight breeze across the ground. Free kick go the way of the Tigers. Saw the Tigers lift the title last night. It could be a trend in 2019. Uzunla helps it forward. She tries to find the run of Phillips for letter.
You suggesting the year of the Tiger, Adam?
Perhaps. Apia shook off the hoodoo last night. 2 grand final defeats. Sydney Uni have had a similar run of form in recent seasons. Courtney Vine couldn't get on the end of things there. Students haven't quite settled, starting to come more and more into the game. They'll get a free kick here though. This could help them. Got some exponents from the set piece, and no surprise Rachel Sudar looks as though she wants this one.
Yeah, she it was similar range a couple of weeks ago, and I did make the comment then that knowing Rachel Suter, she may go direct for goal, and that she did. And I'm sure Eliza Campbell will make sure that she sets this wall up right and is well aware of what Suter can do from this range.
Probably not what you want for your first save of the night. You want an easy one. Certainly won't be easy with Sydney Uni number 7 over the ball. As I mentioned, can hit them from some range.
Suter did say pre-match that she was looking forward to an opportunity like this.
So the Tigers have had all the possession. Sydney Uni with the first chance to break the deadlock. Suter will strike it, go straight into that wall. Made good connection, but couldn't beat the wall in front of her. Now Phillips works out for the Tigers. They don't have a lot of numbers to go to. Phillips says, I'll do it myself. Nice play from the midfielder, still with it. Good vision too in the end. Couldn't link with Maddie Bart. Wuzenla getting back there too.
That was the case when they played 2 weeks ago as well. Just the connection between midfield and attack was really lacking from the Tigers. But it looks a lot better already today. So I'm sure that Jason Eggers really had a good chat and a good couple of weeks with his team. They were dominant last week as well. They beat Olympic 3-0.
I think he'll be very happy with how they've started. They look like they're not fazed by the occasion at all. Settled into their game. Sydney Uni not so much. And there you see it, harassing them in midfield again. Free kick this time though. We'll go to Sydney Uni.
I think Alex Zapakis may be a little bit worried by the start his team's made. As I said a couple of weeks ago, it was Uni doing all the pressing, Uni winning all the 50-50 balls, and it just doesn't seem like it's happening yet for them. But as you say, I think they're slowly starting to play their game.
Presents another chance for Sydney Uni at the set piece. They do have the height advantage going forward. They look for Julianne Russell, but works its way out to Phillips again. Steinmetz was there as well. Tigers on the attack. They're commanding possession. They haven't created a chances yet, but they'll certainly be encouraged by what they're seeing. Here's Steinmetz over the ball. Goes with a long option. Is that going to work its way to a corner? It will. So here is their chance.
Malia Steinmetz, really, she's been a fantastic signing for the Tigers this year. She's one of those quiet achievers in midfield. You don't hear or see her too much in the game, but she does so much work off the ball. And she can play a fantastic ball forward too, so she's really important to the way Jason Eggers' side plays.
Well, watch Servet Wuzenla here. No one's picked her up. Drifting the edge of the area. She's going to get it too, and she might line it up on the right boot. Still there for Wuzenla. Caught napping. Free kick will go to the students. And they just clocked off defensively.
Very lucky there. They should know the threat that Wuzenla poses as well. She's been in at the top level women's football for a long time.
She stayed forward too, putting the pressure on Newbon.
She'll have to rush back because she's really important to that defensive structure of the Tigers.
She was caught in an offside position, the defender, so gives her a chance to get back to her defensive duties. If you are just tuning in, welcome to the grand final for 2019. Sydney Uni and the Northern Tigers. Adam Santarossa and Nicola Posda here with you. Still goalless. A fairly open game, as we tend to see in these grand finals. Chumuth goes forward, can't link with Russell. Haven't seen too much of Courtney Vine as yet. Sutar as well. Russell working well. Was she fouled? Just the throwing.
We've mentioned this centre-half pairing of Wuzenla and Brush playing so well together, but the Uni has their own pairing as well, and the statistics show that Sydney Uni has one of the best defences in the competition.
Nice build up here from Uni. Russell has it. Has targets to aim for in the middle. She's going to go on her own though, into the area. Gets checked. It will be a corner. So first of the night for Sydney Uni.
This is where those centre halves are going to make their way up. Tori Tumeth and Taryn King, the tall timber for Uni. They did cause some issues for Campbell when they played at Arlington, and I'm sure the same could happen here again. As the men's team arrives now, there you are behind the goal.
So Students, good delivery. Campbell's out punching, does a good job. Gets the applause from the Northern Tigers support behind that goal. Danger not over just yet. Phillips helps it on. Steinmetz, touch was heavy, worked its way out. She's been influential early. They do have numbers if they move it quickly. Arrowsmith, she's their star going forward. Lovely ball over the top as well. Four-letter. Here's a chance for the Tigers, building nicely. See the men's side starting to lend their voice. All in action today. Credit to them for making the trek to Valentine Sports Park. Opening up here, McNulty into the area. Chance breaks down, but Tigers lifting. Confidence with them.
Well done to the Northern Tigers boys. They did just make the trek up from Bosley Park, and they did lose to the Bonnyrigg White Eagles in a fantastic game of football in extra time, but they've shown their love for their club and the tight-knit culture at the club. It's one thing the Northern Tigers really have going for them, and it's great to see the boys here today supporting the girls, making their voices heard.
I was talking to some of the team at Football New South Wales pre-game. They mentioned, I think, 10 of the men's teams are on their way, so we certainly know when they're here. They've certainly added some good voice to this game already, as is the strong crowd here at Valentine Sports Park. Not much to cheer about for those in the Sydney Uni colours. Here's Arrowsmith. She is the danger. The striker. Touch let it down there, though. It's not going to plan for the side that has not conceded a goal.
Just one more
in 9 games.
On these, on the COP, as they like to call themselves. Some of their songs are fantastic. If you are able to hear them, you'll surely enjoy them.
Here's McLean down the left flank for Sydney Uni. Taryn King will do the mopping up. Still there for them. Mentioned haven't conceded in 9 games. They've been undefeated in 14. Here's Russell, room to shoot. Can she work onto that left? Looks to do so. Mace it up here for Vine. First chance of the match to the number 9. It wasn't too far away.
As I said, she knows where to be. She knows which positions to find herself in, and it wasn't the greatest shot from her, but her first of the afternoon.
No goals as yet, but you feel one's not too far away. Both sides creating opportunities. You tend to see, as I said, in these grand finals, goals often come. Every time I say that, it seems to have an opposite effect, so I don't want to put the mock on things, but both of these sides can entertain.
They are the two best defensive teams in the league, though, so as I said at the start, I'm not expecting a lot of goals here today, but I would like to see them.
Of course, we don't get any goals, or it is level after 90 minutes. We'll go to extra time and potentially penalties. And several grand finals yesterday did that. Here's Caspers. She'll fight to keep this one in. Can she provide the delivery? Not a bad ball. Ozenla deals with it. Now the Tigers have to get it clear. Caspers is offside. Now you can hear the Northern Tigers. You can probably see them on the Vision 2.
And they're just getting a lot of people coming to join them now, so be ready for a full COP, as they like to call it. Will be fantastic for this women's grand final. Well done, and once more to the Northern Tigers.
Well done from Maddie Butt. Get a second bite at it here. Folletta. Had some good touches already. Watkins, Folletta wins it as well. Now there's a race on. Hannah McNulty fighting hard. She wins the throw, pressuring McLean.
Watkins is another, like Steinmetz, does a lot of work off the ball for this team. It's really important to the way they move forward. As is Garlich and Wheeler for Uni. They've been very quiet so far. It's uncharacteristic for those two. And I think Jason Eager has made sure that his midfield look to shut those two down first.
Well, those stats I spoke of, Sydney Uni, as I said, haven't conceded in 9 matches since round 14. They're on a 19-game undefeated streak, 9 straight wins. So they've been dominant, but as we keep mentioning, it's not. Well, it doesn't guarantee a thing.
I was there for that time. They lost, so they might not want to see me here today. They did lose to the Institute that day 2-1. 2 spectacular goals as well. And that's what you need to do to beat this team. You need to pull out the spectacular and your best. So far, the Northern Tigers are up to the task. They're really playing well.
Well, with expectation, all the punters saying Sydney Uni firm favourites, but with that expectation comes added pressure, and it's certainly looking like it's having an impact early, although it's been more promising the last 5 or so minutes. Well done by Brush defensively. Folletta helps her out. Space in midfield again. Steinmetz cutting ball to Amy Phillips. Trying to get on the end of this one, but just can't quite keep it in.
I think Phillips and McNulty have both been really quiet in this whole final series. Phillips did score last week, but they have been fairly quiet, and the Tigers will need them at the best of their abilities if they are to get something from this game. And Arrowsmith, obviously the top scorer. Massive part of what the Tigers do when they go forward.
Well, it's been a massive improvement this season. Finished 9th in 2018. The Tigers 20 points away from finals football. They got into 3rd place at the end of the regular season, and Sydney Olympic in 2nd. They knocked them off twice in the finals, so they are a form side coming in.
I'm glad someone read my pre-match preview.
Here's Arrowsmith. She's got room to shoot. Tries her luck. McNulty in support. Now Watkins, was she fouled? Yes. Could be a card coming too. There is.
A late challenge there. Well deserving of a card too. I believe that's Bianca Garlich.
Yeah,
it is.
Confirmation. She's the first to go into the book. So a bit of a tightrope for her to walk. A lot of time left in this game.
These are these set pieces as well I was talking about. Just watch Servette's delivery. It's very direct. It's difficult to deal with, especially if her players can get the right runs going.
Well, she had that chance a little earlier. She was frustrated she didn't quite make the most of it. She gets a second bite at it. It's from some range, but as you said, Nicola, can hit them. Here she is looking to do that. Didn't quite make the great connection she wanted.
Yeah, I don't think Rachel Suitsar or Sevette Uzenla will be too happy with us after the game. It's 2 times now we've talked them both up, and they've disappointed with their delivery.
Oh, this one not disappointing. The opening moments here at Valentine Sports Park. If you're just joining us, Adam Santarossa and Nicola Posda here with you. Sydney University 0, Northern Tigers 0. A beautiful Sunday night to end what has been a terrific weekend of football in the NPL New South Wales. Here's Russell. Has Vine ahead of her. Just checks things, goes back. Links well with Claire Wheeler. Ball is finding Russell. Turns past 2. Gets a free kick. Was clipped on her way through.
I've got to say, it's been a fantastic season as well in the women's competition this year. So many good teams and so many teams really challenging throughout. It's fantastic to see the rise of the women's game.
Here's Suter. Good delivery. Uzenla heads it on. Going to go out for a corner perhaps. Yes, it will. So another corner for the students.
When your 2018 champions don't make the final series either, with not much of a changed squad. They did lose Polias and Georgia Ermondale, but they aren't in the final series, and they won't be here. Well, they're not here tonight to defend their crown. So we will have a new champion in the women's competition in 2019.
So Sutar to take. A bit of pressure now turns on the Tigers. Sutar, we've talked up her delivery. Goes short this time. Links with Russell. On the left boot. Swings it in. Dealt with again by the Tigers.
But it'll be a foul. But that same corner routine undid the Northern Tigers a couple of weeks ago, and it almost worked again. There was a good peel off there at the near post.
So good atmosphere building here at Valentine Sports Park. Northern Tigers, we'll mention their support in fine voice.
Better than the SUS last night almost.
Plenty of them. Certainly last night, I think they had over 500 in their active area. It was a great atmosphere. Pleasure to call it at Bankwest Stadium last night. Chance again for the students to break this deadlock. Suter drives this one. Good delivery. Bobbing around. Still not dealt with. In the air it goes. Let it bounce in the area. That's always a danger sign. Could open up. Free kick relieves things. It was Darren King lurking on the edge of the 6-yard box, but thankfully for the Tigers, free kick just relieves the pressure.
The cop over there cheering for that as though it were a goal. You can just imagine what's going to happen if the Northern Tigers score here today.
Well, most nil-nil affairs in a grand final, they're always a little cagey. No one really wants to make a mistake. This one, still fairly open, both sides. Northern Tigers started well, although you feel Uni is starting to take control. Cries of handball, play on. Vine with it. Caspers continues her run forward. Now the passes are starting to come together. It's wide areas where just trying to get in behind. Martin has to stretch. Phillips gives her a fend off.
From there from Phillips. Good tracking as well.
Sydney Uni have had some dominance, of course, premiers in 2016, 18 and 19. 3 of the last 4 grand finals. Haven't always converted that premiership success into a championship, winning just 2015 and 16. We mentioned last year losing out to the MacArthur Rams. Tigers have their edge at the moment, or they get in each other's way. Arrowsmith, although it will work its way out here.
Yeah, as you said, the dominance really over the last few years, it's been fantastic. They, along with the Illawarra Stingrays and the MacArthur Rams, they really have been the leaders of women's football in New South Wales. But it's good now to see teams like Sydney Olympic and the Northern Tigers and, of course, the Blacktown Spartans all stepping up.
Yeah, it's great to see the competition getting stronger and stronger. There's MPL2 growing in quality as well. Apia Leichhardt in action too tonight in that grand final, so certainly growing all the time. We're seeing some real pathways as well, not only to the W League but also to the Matildas, the Young Matildas program. So good to see women's football really the shining light in Australian football in the last 12 months or so, if not more. And this one certainly pleasing. If not any goals as yet. You see they're starting to hustle, led by Claire Wheeler in midfield. Here she is on the ball. Suter, touch, lets her down. Those combinations just haven't quite worked tonight so far.
And Wheeler really needs to get into this game. She's really important to how Uni move forward. She's not on the ball, it's going to be a problem. And as the cops sing out Daisy's name, she's been a bit quiet as well this game so far.
And here's the opposition number 9, Courtney Vine, starting to grow in influence. Couldn't quite link with Russell on that occasion. I'll get the throw though. It's been the Sydney Uni number 11, the most active. Mentioned her name quite a few times. Here she is on the ball. Wheeler. You mentioned though, Arrowsmith been so isolated at times. They've had a lot of possession but haven't quite done enough with it going forward. Caspers works well, playing advantage. Martin was clipped. Can Caspers put in a cross? Good looking ball. And we're going to come back for the free kick as Annabelle Martin. That would have stung, particularly on a
long advantage play as well by the referee.
That's exactly what the Tigers are asking.
Not too happy with that call, but nevertheless, it's another good chance again from another set piece. That's how Uni's really made most of their chances in this game so far, all set pieces. So
And referee Libri is just going to consult a linesman, perhaps, for some of the complaints from the Northern Tigers. Say there'd be a card coming. What colour will it be? Here is confirmation. It's going to be yellow. So a bit of a tightrope now for the Tigers to walk, and conversation continues. Matty Bart leading the complaints, but clear foul, although they did have the advantage played. Anyway, it's a moot point now. Sutar has an opportunity. We mentioned the danger she presents from the set piece.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say this one's too far for her.
Never too far.
I think that sort of deconcentrated the Northern Tigers, because Brush and Servette wasn't really unhappy with that call.
Campbell goes with a two-man walk. Sutar drifts it forward. Not a bad effort.
It was actually a decent ball, just no one attacking it from Uni.
I think she was caught in two minds, Sutar, whether to have a red-hot go or just put it in a dangerous area and find a runner, and a bit of miscommunication perhaps. No one followed it up. Story of the half so far at times for Sydney Uni. Been a little bit disjointed, but still creating enough. Neither side able to break that deadlock as yet. Haven't seen Courtney Vine or Arrow Smith come into the game.
I think the success that Alex Opakis has also had with Uni this year should be commended. He did win the premiership with both the reserves and the first grade, while also coaching the men's team, believe it or not, at the same time, and they've also had success. Their key was to not get relegated from NPL 3, and they've achieved that. So it's really a testament to how well he's done at the club since taking over from Heather Garriock.
Yeah, he's a real name to watch, not only in this competition but potentially W League and higher honours as well. He's done a lot of work in the W League already with Canberra United.
Yeah, he was Heather Garriock's understudy at Canberra and at Sydney Uni, and she was the last one to take the championship for Sydney Uni. They won it with her a few years ago, and now Opakis is looking to repeat that feat.
Tigers though with a free kick here. Again, it will be Uzunla to take. She'll send the troops forward. Look for the runs of Arrowsmith, Steinmetz as well. They're the dangers going forward. They haven't forced a save out of Newbond just yet. Uzunla, that's a good looking ball. Steinmetz, the one. There'll be a free kick though, offside. It was Steinmetz the direction, but
those flat deliveries really are difficult to deal with as a defender and as a goalkeeper. Sort of Steven Gerrard-esque. He's got in a big game tonight too, the Old Firm Derby at 9 PM after this. Great day of football, if you're a football fan.
Never too much football. Certainly. We may not get home for it, the way this is going. We stays level, extra time and penalties await.
We'll make it just in time for kickoff with a large Big Mac meal.
Like the sound of that. There'll be plenty of drama to come. Caspers, can they make the Tigers pay for the turnover? It was Matty Bart handing possession, which Caspers has here, trying to drive down the right flank. She's done well to get in behind. Numbers in the middle too to aim for. It's cut out. Still there, Martin shrugged off that earlier knock. Here's King, so composed. Again, turned it over. Now it's a chance for the Tigers to break. 3-on-3 at the back. Still not dealt with just yet, although McLean has it. Sutar.
I think Caspers has been most dangerous for Sydney Uni so far in his first half.
Sutar in space. Starting to see the touches rack up a lot more in midfield for Sutar. Russell driving forward, trying to find the run of Vine. They've kept her shackled. Arrowsmith. McLean, another who's been influential. Important touch there for Isabella Folletta because Caspers was waiting in behind. It's a lively night here at Valentine Sports Park. No goals as yet. Students growing in confidence. If not all going to plan. They've been harassed off the ball at times. Touch well from Bart. Steinmetz links well with Phillips, but turned over.
Still think Phillips is receiving this ball a little bit too deep. She should be receiving it higher up the field.
There's a race on here. Vine, well, she was tripped. What colour will the card be? This could be a moment. It's going to be yellow. For a moment, I thought.
Brush not happy with that call, but I'm not too sure what she's unhappy about. It's definitely a card, and I think she potentially can be.
Was she the last defender?
It's a question that's got to be asked.
Well, linesman was right there. Lineswoman, I should say, was right there.
And that's what the uni girls are saying. She was the last player.
I don't know. I think what saved Brush was, I don't know whether it was a clear foul or just legs tangled.
And she wasn't running directly at goal either, so I think that's what's worked in her favour. But definitely dangerous moment for the Tigers. And Brush now, one of their most important players on a yellow card so early. We'll have to be careful.
Well, what it has done, it has presented another chance to Sydney Uni. Sutar over the ball. We've spoken several times about her danger from the set piece. Does she go herself, or does she try to find the height? They do have the height advantage. Some tall timber to send forward. Sutar drives it low this time. Come all the way through, a chance. Eliza Campbell saves well.
That was Courtney Vine. I think she should have done a little bit better with that chance when the ball got to her, but it was travelling at quite a pace, so it wouldn't have been that easy.
Getting the cheers from support behind her goal, Eliza Campbell. Both keepers haven't had too much to do, but for what they've been asked, they've saved them. No nervy moments is what you want in a grand final. Intriguing contest here at Valentine Sports Park. Still Sydney University 0, Northern Tigers 0. Chances coming more frequently to the students these last 10 or so moments. Or minutes, I should say. Ozenla over the ball. Can she turn the tide back in the Tigers' direction? Oh, I thought it would sit for Arrowsmith. Hardly sighted goal scoring opportunity. We know her danger. She's in form too in front of goal. 3 in her last 4.
I think these games are a really good test for Courtney Vine. Coming up against two experienced centre-backs like Uzunla and Brush.
Here is Uzunla. Steinmetz gets bundled off it. They've lifted that physicality in midfield, but as I say that, Uzunla says, give me the ball. Intelligent ball too to find Bart. Just settles things. Had some heat on it, but it's going to work its way out to Folletta. And there's a 50-50 challenge. That's been a battle to watch between Folletta and Martin.
I think Martin's come off second best. He's clutching at her knee. May have copped a cork.
He's Brush. Ball forward. Needs to be dealt with. Steinmetz on the follow-up for the Tigers. For a second I thought Bart was through, but there was a bit of a nudge.
Great ball by Brush as well there. Again, Arrowsmith though, just not getting the ball where she wants it. She needs to get more involved in this match.
So closing in on half-time inside the final 10 minutes here at Valentine Sports Park. No goals as yet, but you sense it's not too far away. We have seen a trend of high-scoring grand finals. Last year, 7 goals. 5-4 in the mix as well. Ozenla. Searching ball, trying to find Steinmetz. Been one of the most important for the Tigers tonight, as is in Phillips. Trying to link with Steinmetz, but intercepted. Vine. No one to really flick it on to, and Ozenla will come across.
You guys can't see it, but there's a dog here wearing a Sydney University jersey. Number 1 fan for the uni.
Here's Phillips, skips past a couple of uni defenders. Is there a moment of magic that breaks this game open? Wilson finds McNulty, support in the middle. Arrowsmith there, needs some service. She'll get a corner though.
Very quiet this afternoon. Hannah McNulty hasn't seen much of the ball, much like Arrowsmith. Phillips the most involved so far out of the front three for the Northern Tigers. These two have to get on the ball.
So now a chance for the Tigers. Can they find the lead before half-time? Made a fair fist to the grand final so far. Delivery's good. It almost came all the way to Bart. Again, players tangled in the area. Just a throw.
Phillips almost got ahead on the end of that one. Would have been a great chance for the Tigers. Still yet to have a shot on target against Courtney Newbon.
I think Jason Egger would be pretty happy with what he's seen in this first half. He would have taken 0-0 to this point. Good change here. Suter's off and running. Has Vine with her. Tries to pick out the number 9. Great delivery too. Important touch from Wilson-Lar because Vine was through on goal. She didn't do the job. Here's Arrowsmith dropping deep.
I think that just shows the importance of Servette Wilson-Lar to this team. That ball would have got beyond many centre-backs in this competition. She's just shown all her experience.
Nice build-up here from the Tigers. Bart fights to win possession of Phillips. Do need to find a way to get Daisy Arrowsmith into the game though. She is their leading scorer this season, as I mentioned. 19 for the season. Caspers been good for the students so far. Vine, important touch, but Steinmetz been just as good for the Tigers.
Interestingly, no Sydney Uni players have reached double figures for this season. They've really shared the goals around. Vine did miss quite a few games due to injury. She's on 9 goals, but no players have hit double figures. We don't have our Fox Sports stats man here to double check our stats, but I'm pretty sure they're right.
There's some pressure in midfield again from the Tigers. It's been what they've been so good at. Now they've got a weight of numbers. Pass didn't quite find its target. Phillips was away. They could link with her down this left flank.
As you said, Adam, it's a good battle between Martin and Phillips down this side, both working really hard in attack and defence. You feel that something could come from this side if it is to happen.
You mentioned Courtney Vine earlier. She has had a chance here tonight. Couldn't take it, but she scored 2 in the grand final last year in that defeat to MacArthur. So she can score on grand final day.
Wasn't enough though, at the end of the day. Did come back from 3-1 down, if I'm not mistaken, I think, in that final.
It hasn't quite been the goal fest of last year, but still entertaining to watch. Plenty with us.
I think we had 4 goals already at this stage last season.
Plenty with us tuning in across the NPL New South Wales channels again, which is great to see. Thank you for your company for your Sunday night. Sure, you're not going anywhere. This is intriguing stuff. Throw in, going to the Tigers. Right beneath our broadcast position. I think there's a fair complaint too from the students.
I think Annabelle Martin got away with that. Sorry, didn't get away with that one. It was all Amy Phillips making the call, and I think the referee just decided to go with her call.
You make your own luck at times. That can be the difference in a grand final. There's some space again in midfield. Arrowsmith starts to drop deeper, racking up the touches. Last 5 or so minutes. Her ball can't find McNulty. McLean has to deal with this one. Goes all the way back to Newbon, and the keeper. It's giving Russell some work to do. Almost did it though.
It's funny that Wilson really hasn't made much of a move forward in this game. In the last game, she did try to get up the field into the attacking third, but she hasn't done much of that. This is about the furthest she's been all game. So Jason Eager has done his homework, obviously. on this uni side.
Well, the Tigers have lost to Sydney University twice in the last 7 games, 2-0 both of those occasions, but certainly not following that script here tonight. They can be proud of what they've done so far, flying the flag well for their club in this grand final, and certainly in it. Martin.
Not many goals between these two either. I think the first one was a 0 draw. The second 2-0 to the University, and the finals game a couple of weeks ago also was 2-0. So they are very compact machines.
Flag up, offside.
You can hear Parkas as well calling his team to move the ball earlier and a little bit quicker.
So final few minutes of normal time, first half here at Valentine Sports Park, 2019 NPL Women's Grand Final. Sydney Uni and the Northern Tigers locked at 0-0. Adam Santarossa and Nicola Posda here with you in commentary. Caspers can't quite pick up possession. Race on here for Folletta and Martin. That's been a battle. Folletta's been quite impressive. Here she is on the ball again. Nice link up between Bart and Phillips. It's been that combination. Watkins just switches the perspective. McNulty beaten to the punch there. McLean steps up and wins it. Now it's opening up for the students. Courtney Vine with it. McLean continues her run. Vine, the only one to go to in the middle. Nice build up from Sydney Uni, but in the end just couldn't get enough forward.
So it looked as though McLean lost a little bit of energy there at the end. There wasn't much in that cross from her, and probably too much on the pass from Vine as well.
In terms of clear-cut chances in this first half, Courtney Vine probably the best of them to this point. A couple of set-piece opportunities. Can that change before half-time? Oh, Ara Smith just went without. Still harassing Martin though to win it back. Important touch again. Caspers will take the throw.
It's definitely not the fluid uni we've been used to throughout this season, and I've got to put it down to the Northern Tigers. They've really stepped up their game.
Yeah, I think it's their energy, I think, has sort of harassed Sydney Uni. They haven't been allowed to settle. There's probably a bit of that pressure of many expecting them to just keep the winning run. That's been,
well,
what, 19
really
games?
Doing what Uni did to them last time out. You know, they've sort of tried to turn the tables and put the pressure on them this time, and it's so far working for Jason Eager's team.
Goal this time can certainly change things. Martin's delivery. Sutar the target in the area. Russell was there too. Still there for the students. Galich with it. Just settle things. Caspers couldn't quite control it. Go out for a goal kick.
Again, there you saw with that cross, it was Savet Uzunla that cleared the ball away. Uni are going to have to somehow try and get around Uzunla and get her out of the game.
Just about take us to half-time in the grand final. Since this one's got another gear or two to go, but it's been good viewing to this point. Not bringing goals just yet. Can they get one before the break? Wheeler's ball can't find Caspers. Both coaches eager to get their players in the shed to talk it over and change some things. Folletta with the throw. Heavy touch. Works its way out anyway. Here's Campbell. Hasn't put a foot wrong. On the money again for her side. They want the flag up. Courtney Vine with it. Danger signs. for the Tigers. Still there for Vine. Going to try her luck from range. Campbell makes a confident save again.
I think there was a hint of offside as well.
And there you have it. Half time. Sydney Uni. They started slow. The Northern Tigers out enthused them for the first 20-25 minutes, but as the half continued, the students found their groove, created chances, but neither side able to add a goal in this grand final to this point. Deadlock at the break at half time. It is Sydney University 0, the Northern Tigers 0. Yes, hello, welcome back to Valentine Sports Park for the 2019 NPL Women's Grand Final. Sydney University and the Northern Tigers locked 0-0 at half-time. Second half just about to get underway. Adam Santarossa and Nicola Pozda here with you in commentary. It's been an intriguing first 45 that, Nicola, I think the Tigers would be fairly happy with.
Yeah, it's like we said throughout the first half, it's a massive improvement on that game 2 weeks ago, and I think Jason Eager has pointed out the flaws of this uni team and where his team can improve, and they've obviously, lifted their game, and it's obvious in the first half that they're here for the battle.
Conversely, Sydney Uni, how do you feel? Would they be a little frustrated with that first 45?
I don't think Epakis would be all too pleased. I think he would have liked to have been in the lead by half-time. And knowing him, he would have really made sure that his girls were awake early in the second period.
McNulty the target straight off the kick-off. It was Steinmetz with the delivery. The throw will work its way out here to the Tigers. McNulty tried suck in McLean with a dummy. It works its way back to the Tigers number 7. Here she is. Bit of trickery. Sees a way past a couple. Both Russell and McLean. Searching ball forward. Here's a chance for Phillips. So she tried to turn in the area. Good defending too though from Martin. There will be a corner. So just like the first half, the Tigers have come out strong.
Good start for the Tigers. Fantastic tackle as well though from Annabelle Martin. Came out of nowhere to block that one.
We'll know about it too if they can score at this end, because that's where their support is located. You can hear them in fine voice tonight.
A few more have just turned up as well.
It's McNulty's delivery. Sutar there. Might get a second bite at it. McNulty. Although the students have got it clear. Only as clear as Steinmetz. McNulty here again. Delivery's been good tonight. Another dangerous ball. Work its way out. Thought Uzumla would size that one up. Already had a pop from distance. Oh, Steinmetz. Missed time challenge. Card coming. Yellow it is. It's Emma Watkins in the book. Don't think she's 100% either. It's mistimed rather than malicious.
To be fair, I think it was a good foul to make for the Tigers, because Uni were on the break, and had Vine got past her there, I think the Tigers are in a bit of trouble. But it looks like, as you said, looks like Watkins is struggling herself. We did hear the clash, it was pretty loud.
Sydney Uni won't want this to be significant injury to their star, Courtney Vine. Certainly some meat in the challenge, no questioning that. It's been a beautiful day here in Sydney. A bit cold tonight, always going to have an impact.
They do a lot of attacking options on the bench though. Sydney Uni, Tegan Collister is there, as is Nikki Flannery.
Scored in the grand final last year, so...
Carla Trimboli too, all players that can make a difference when they come onto the park. And obviously Vine there not having to go off because of the booking too.
So Vine gets the OK to continue. Tumeth with it. Martin, important touches at both ends. Some spirited challenges here tonight. No surprise it's a grand final.
I think the Tigers need to continue doing that. They need to be stuck in all the time.
Sutar trying to turn. 3 Tigers defenders on her back. Uzumla led the charge, as she has all night. Here's Vine trying to make something happen. Tigers not making it easy. They've been gallant so far. It's not looking like a side that is on a 19-game unbeaten run. Haven't conceded in 9. Not going all the way of the students like many expected. They have possession though here though. Can they make something happen? Find the target. Here's a chance for the students. Side netting. First real look at goal in the second half.
Again, Vine just pops up so fast on that turn. Couldn't get a shot on target, but I think this is where Uni will start to build now. This is their part of the game where they really start to dominate.
They've been fairly tight on the two weapons in an attacking sense. Sutar and Vine, but as players fatigue, no doubt that'll loosen. Here's Caspers, probably been the standout for Sydney Uni so far. Her delivery met well by Brush. Some strong tackles yet again. Tigers coming out of their own end. Arrowsmith can't get it. That's been a battle too between Arrowsmith and Tumouth.
I don't know if the Tigers can keep up this tempo for the full 90 plus. Looks like we're going plus at the moment. But if they can, there'll definitely be a chance. It's hard against a team like Sydney Uni.
Free kick goes the way of Sydney Uni. Of course, a reminder, if we are level at the end of the 90, we go to extra time, potentially penalties. There's always drama in the NPL Women's Grand Finals if the last 5 years are history. Good ball forward from Newbon. Links well with McLean. Can't link with Russell though. Suter coming together. Worked its way out to Maddie Bart. Can't keep it in. It's just that final ball costing the Tigers at times. Suter fighting her way forward, past two tackles. Uzenla goes to the deck. Suter with the ball at her feet. Good vision too. Martin, numbers forward. Casper's one of them. Vine as well. Here is Caspers. Had to move it quickly. Works its way out to Arrowsmith. Folletta. Defender. Doing her attacking duties as well. It's where they've just lacked that support on the break with Arrowsmith. We know her pace can be a difference maker. Steinmetz goes without. Suter. Likewise. McNulty trying to work onto that left boot. Steinmetz just tripping at the crucial time. Some spirited tackles again. Works its way out to Russell. Only Vine ahead of her. Russell going to go on her own. She could be cleared through here though. Chance here for Sydney Uni. Russell shot. Snatched at it in the end. And she had to go by herself, and another comfortable save for Eliza Campbell.
They are dangerous on the back, this Sydney Uni, on the counter-attack, this Sydney Uni team. They've got a lot of weapons moving forward, not just Vine and Suter, but also Caspers and Julianne Russell.
McLean goes all the way back to Newbon. She wastes little time just thumping it long and out of danger. We'll get a throw out of it. Probably Russell and Caspers been the standouts for Sydney Uni to this point. Russell again, searching for Vine, but cut out nicely. Emma Watkins, not for the first time. Folletta goes long. Dealt with by King. Bart's ball. Searching again for McNulty. They really seem like they've identified a threat down that right-hand flank. Cannot be impressed with the start they've made in this second half. Not overawed by the occasion or the opposition, who we've mentioned their dominance this season, just the one defeat to this point. Joining us, no goals as yet here at Valentine Sports Park, the 2019 Grand Final. Northern Tigers and Sydney University. Russell doing the defensive work. Uzenla, not for the first time tonight. Strong header. Watkins. Brush. Here's Folletta. Watkins. Trying to play the perfect pass. Arrowsmith, first look at her tonight. In a goal-scoring sense, deflected, works its way out here. Here's a chance! Oh, it's the opening goal! Emma Watkins! We said we need something special. We've certainly found it here. It's the Northern Tigers who hit the lead.
What a finish. An absolute bomb from Emma Watkins. I said she's an important part of this Northern Tigers team, and she's just proved it. What a strike. Courtney Newborn, no chance to save that one. And look at her, Parkes goes straight to the bench. Holly Casper's coming off, replaced by Nikki Flannery, I think.
Well,
what a strike. It's a fantastic way to open the scoring in this game.
Well, there you have it. It is a streak breaker. They have not conceded for 9 games. You can throw that out the window. They have in the most important game, the grand final. And does that spur Sydney Uni to life? They've been a little disjointed here tonight. Tigers, if there's ever a reward for effort, there it is.
They've been great this whole game. They've really stepped up their game, and they've deserved that goal, and they deserve to be in the lead. And right at that end too, what a way to score in front of those fans. They would have really enjoyed that one.
Well done to Emma Watkins. She took her chance. It's what grand finals are about. To make the most of your opportunities, but she's been one of the players leading the charge in midfield. Putting the body on the line. Here she is again. Works its way to Uzenla that time. That'll apply a little bit more pressure. Phillips doing that to Newborn. Goalkeeper calm enough. Russell. She fouled, yes. And what's going through the minds of those Sydney Uni players? Are they thinking, no, not again?
They won't stop fighting, that's definite. They're going to keep pushing for the whole remainder of this match, and I'm sure this will really open the game up now and allow Parkes' team to step up. I mean, they've got no choice, really.
It's Flannery's first touch. Out for a throw. Of course, we mentioned she scored in that grand final last year. Courtney Vine, the other 2 goals in that 4-3 defeat to MacArthur.
Flannery, one of the most experienced players in this Uni team, has been injured, and now she's back as well in the squad. Of course, Uni missing Mel Caceres, important part of their build-up play.
Nice build-up here. Martin looking for the delivery. Not quite dealt with convincingly. In the end, Brush gets it clear. Flannery already having an impact, putting some passes together. Not seeing that too much tonight. Here's Arrow Smith. She's starting to grow in stature, as are the Tigers team. Watkins, lovely vision again. Isn't she proving a difference maker? Sends Wilson in behind. Numbers to aim for in the middle. All the way back to McNulty. They are surging right now.
It's the first goal that the Northern Tigers have scored against Sydney Uni this year as well, and what a time to pick that up.
And this is a intriguing period in this game because Tigers full of confidence. If they can jag another, almost one hand on the trophy. Plenty of time left though for Sydney Uni to turn things around. Vine dropping deep to do some defensive work. They just seem to lack a spark at the moment, the students. Not so the Northern Tigers or their support. They are in fine voice here. See the pressure they're applying to.
I think a Northern Tigers victory here would be about the same as that Football New South Wales Institute win against MacArthur Rams all those years ago when you and I called that game as well. Looks as though we're the luck charms.
Again, a little casual defensively. They may pay the price. Here's a chance again. Important block. Don't know that they knew too much about it, but Claire Reeler it was who was trying to jink away out of defence with a step over or two. Not the part of the field you want to be doing that. One of the more experienced students, players too. As we said in our opener, it's not the regular season. Grand finals can be a very different beast. We're seeing that here tonight. Throw out the form guide.
And once again, the Northern Tigers really did learn a lesson from that game 2 weeks ago. It's obvious the way they've lined up today and the way they've performed. They've been fantastic.
And sometimes too, it's just about effort, a bit of wanting it more. You just feel the Tigers. So far tonight, that's been a difference maker. Here's Suter. She is herself a difference maker. Is she fouled? Yes, she was. So another set piece opportunity. We've been talking up their free kick potential. Haven't provided too much.
This will be a good chance now for Suter to prove us wrong. Well, right, as we were saying at the start of the game. Taryn King stayed back. Interestingly, I thought she would have gone up now, especially considering Uni are down.
So it'll be Suter over the ball. Might try her luck from this kind of range. It is a rather acute angle.
She scored from a similar place 2 weeks ago as well, so albeit with a deflection.
Here is Suter. Can she change this game? Drives it in. Good delivery. Martin was there in the air. Just couldn't make connection. One of those. It would have just needed a touch.
Yeah, I don't think Eliza Campbell would have been getting anything on that. Had Annabelle Martin got her head onto the end of that ball.
Well, I'm sure you're enjoying this. Wherever you're watching, we do go worldwide, courtesy of the NPL New South Wales Facebook, Football New South Wales YouTube. Thanks for your company on this Sunday evening. What has been a bumper weekend, bumper Sunday afternoon of women's football. 10 grand finals here at Valentine Sports Park today. This is the grand finale. It's living up to expectations so far. Certainly if you're a Northern Tigers fan, as Uzunla just couldn't quite deal with it, but credit to her. Put the body on the line, shoulder to shoulder with Vine, and wins the ball back. It's what you love to see. Disjointed again, defensively. Tumeth and King couldn't work it out. Works its way to the Tigers. McNulty. They've got their backs up. They can sense a second goal. Almost fell. Steinmetz rides the challenge. Can't get a shot away. Flag stays down. In fact, no, it doesn't. Phillips thought she was clear, but flag went up. Emma Watkins again, providing the difference maker.
That ball was begging to be hit on the volley by Malia Steinmetz, but it just didn't fall in the end for her.
And the goal scorer Watkins with a header.
We did say earlier that when the Football New South Wales Institute beat Sydney Uni back in round 4, there were 2 spectacular goals, and that's what's needed, as Watkins showed us not too long ago.
Suter. Flannery starting to make an impact off the bench. Just can't thread the needle though for Vine. And on that goal, I think it was the connection off the boot that surprised Newbon. Seemed to swerve a little bit in the air too. Can't do anything about it now. The Tigers have the lead. They'll get a free kick here. Taryn King bringing down Bart. Just the talking to for the defender. So Uzunla will step over it. Try and provide a bit of service to her side. Now undersized in terms of an aerial threat. What can they conjure here? Uzunla, delivery's good again. Works its way out to McLean. Watkins. Folletta. Steinmetz has to stretch to keep it. Now links with Phillips. That's been a combination that's worked. Trying to work here for a corner. Just a goal kick. Not happy with that decision, the Northern Tigers support.
They've been a bit quiet actually in the second half. I thought I'd be hearing more noise from them after the goal especially.
Could be planning the after party.
And I know there's a pub just up the road, so I'm sure they'll all be on their way to Bella Vista Hotel should the Tigers lift the trophy.
The Newbon restarts. If you're just joining us, welcome to the NPL Women's Grand Final. Northern Tigers 1, Sydney Uni 0. Not as the form guide suggested. McLean looking to get her side back in it. Fine stretches. King goes without. Been a frustrating night so far. That's a clear handball from King.
Very lucky she got away with
Should be a yellow card.
Yeah.
And she's going to get one. She may have even shocked our referee right in front of the nose. Good work in the end by referee Libri. Card for King, and that's a important player riding a bit of a tightrope.
I think Uzunla and Brush have really done a job on Vine today. She's been really quiet. They've allowed the rest of the Tigers team to really play with a bit more hunger, and in midfield especially.
We're going to get a second change here. It's going to be Bianca Galich to go off, who was on a yellow. So I'm sure that has influenced the decision.
It's Mel Caceres coming on.
Again, a sign of the assets they do have on their bench. Can she spark them
Her
into this game?
importance is incredible in this midfield.
Clash of bodies. Thought it might sit up for McNulty. Works its way here to Russell. Here's Caceres, her first touch. Sutar waited for it. Uzunla beat it to the punch. She's been great here. Uzunla sat up for the effort. Probably too far out to trouble Nubon. Didn't quite make the connection she wanted, but she has been great tonight.
Just on Caceres, I think her creativity could bring something else to the Sydney Uni team. Normally play a 6 and an 8, but it looks like Caceres will play a little bit more advanced.
Plenty of time for Sydney Uni to turn this one around. Since the goal, it's been the Tigers in the ascendancy, looking for more. Turned over, could pay a price here. Flannery with it. Only Vine ahead of her. Will she go on her own? Puts the head down. Flannery. Support coming here. Russell. Turns onto the left boot. Still numbers in the area. Good scrambling defence. They do concede the corner.
Tumouth going up once more. Should be a target, definitely. There is a lot of time, but when you're at a point like this in the game and you're behind, I think the clock runs a lot quicker than what you'd like it to.
Yeah, composure can go out the window. Still a chance at the set piece. Sutar fires it to the far post. Well one in the air again. Wheeler turning. Can't quite link with Flannery. And there's a bit of a hush, really. Valentine Sports Park, not so from the Northern Tigers fans, but the Sydney Uni contingent.
I think on the opposite side we've got a bit of action too. Something's going on over there as well. So
all happening. What a festival that has been of football here today. Multiple grand finals.
I think a lot of people here are actually a bit surprised with this result. I can't see too many people that would have seen the Northern Tigers in front at this point of the game, but they are.
They're deserving their lead. Since half-time, back end of that first half, Sydney Uni started to take control back, but since half-time, it's been the energy of the Tigers, the difference, a bit more physical. 50-50 balls going their way. Here's another 50-50 chance. King had to get that right, particularly being on a yellow. Still fighting for it. Eventually forced to concede the free kick.
King's got to be careful, really lucky that that ball didn't get played into her, otherwise she could have been seeing a second yellow.
So, certainly intriguing night unfolding.
The temperature's been turned down on our end too, a little bit, got a bit chillier in this second half.
Long ball from Uzunla, trying to find the run of Phillips. Flannery fouled. Free kick. Sun was certainly shining when we got here. Not so at this point, but no complaints. We have the best seat in the house for this one, as do you. Watching on the NPL New South Wales Facebook, Football New South Wales YouTube. Sure you're enjoying it. Arrowsmith coming from an offside position. And we're going to make another change. Third and final for Sydney Uni, and it's going to be Charlotte McLean. So clearly, Alex Apaka is not happy.
No, he's got to ring the changes, and I don't know if this was a substitution he wanted to make, but he has taken off a defender and he's put on an attacking player. I believe it's Tegan Collister. Collister does know how to find the back of the net, and she has so this season.
Well, doesn't mind chancing the arm. Not quite desperation time, but clock ticking away for them. Suter has a try from long range. Not a bad effort in the end. Campbell wouldn't have been expecting a shot from that kind of range, but again, she has contended with it well. Not for the first time we've heard that song either tonight from the Northern Tigers support.
Well, they love the Eliza Campbell. Dives to the left, dives to the right. She saves them all night. At the moment, it's the way it's going.
Well, she has to this point. Since as Sydney Uni get more and more desperate for an equaliser, she'll be in the thick of it, the Tigers keeper. Newbon. As we said, 9 games without conceding a goal. Sydney Uni, 19 games unbeaten. Just the one defeat this season means nothing here in the grand final.
It looks like Sydney Uni's made a tactical change. Suta's come to the left back position to allow Collister to move higher up the park, and I think Caceres has moved into the number 10 role now. So we'll see how that works out for Alex Apakis' side.
Yeah, it's an interesting change because Suta's been influential. Here's a chance though. Fine. Campbell has to get there and does expertly well again.
It looked as though she came off the line a little bit late and that Vine was going to get there first, but again, lots of experience from Eliza Campbell to get there and make a fine save.
Students still mounting the attacks. Collister goes without. King had some heat on that one for Russell to contend with. Did her best though, not dealt with defensively. May just open the door. Caceres. Now the Tigers have it again. McNulty. Nice work once more between her and Malia Steinmetz.
Jason Eager just asking Steinmetz to not push forward too much. It's almost time to shut up shop now for the Tigers. Uni will come at him now. I think this is where you answer those championship credentials at these points in the game.
Russell with it. She can be a difference maker. It's what Sydney Uni need. That battle between her and Bart continues, but it's the Tigers. Phillips with it. Has Arrowsmith ahead of her. It'll be quiet tonight, the number 9. Well marshalled. Has she won a corner? Just a goal kick. Credit to her though. Didn't give up on it.
I'm with you, Adam. I think that could have been a corner. The linesman had a better view than us though, and she has said it's a goal kick.
So just about 20 minutes left for Sydney Uni to rescue this one. Time enough, but not really looking that way for the moment. That can change very quickly. Flannery. She has made an impact since coming on. Mentioned scored in that grand final last year. It's composed as they've been all night, the Tigers. Not rushing things. Brush. 4-letter. Flag up. Just as I say. Composure goes lacking.
I think you mentioned earlier that quite a young side the Tigers have. Those experienced heads at the back are really going to have to ride them through the emotions of these final 20 minutes.
Throw-in will go to Uni, and Well, that's the beauty of a young side. Sometimes you're just not fazed at all by the occasion. Who cares if it's a grand final? Who cares if they haven't lost in 19 games? We've seen that tonight.
Well, Uni themselves are quite a young team as well, but they've got the experience of last season. Most of these girls did play.
Here's McNulty. Touch with a little heavy. Again, it's a straight ball out of midfield. It's hurt Sydney Uni all night.
It's just a midfield battle. It's definitely gone the way of the Tigers. In the earlier games in the season, that midfield battle went the way of Uni, but not tonight. Watkins and Steinmetz have really put on a performance for their side. Not to mention Uzunla. She's been great at the back.
Well, already, when that ball went out, a few Uni players were asking how long to go. Starting to get a little tense. Wilson's throw. Works its way out to Sydney Uni. No surprise. Uzunla again. Putting the body on the line. Got a free kick. Uzunla and Flannery. They're both experienced at this level.
One was going to go the other way, to be fair.
Right beneath our broadcast position here at Valentine Sports Park, but I think Uzunla probably got there first, and I think that's why she got the free kick. She has provided good delivery tonight. Can she do it again? Not her best free kick. Works its way out to Sydney Uni. Suits up. Nice touch. Flannery was caught on her heels though. 4-letter. Seems to have switched flanks.
And I think that was a missed opportunity for Sydney Uni just then. Savette Uzunla was out of position and they didn't take advantage. It was Uzunla, in fact, to help win the ball back.
Suta just thumps it long. Uzunla has to reset. Bit of indecision defensively. Not what you want when Courtney Vine's around.
They're the balls that Vine lives off.
She's been restricted to just a couple of opportunities tonight, but she's a player that half chance she can turn it into a goal. They need it here. Wheeler going on her own. Seemed like it was a ball forward for Collister. Didn't quite make the connection she wanted. If you are just joining us, Northern Tigers 1, Sydney Uni 0. Frustrating night so far for the Premiers. Just the one defeat all season. We're staring down the barrel of another in the biggest game of the season. Steinmetz has been mighty for her side, fighting with Caceres. Caceres had options, opening up here. Chance for the Tigers again. Good reward for their effort, their physicality. It's beating Sydney Uni in the crucial moments.
I think it's a bit early for wasting time in the corner.
Well, McNulty thought she had a corner. Goal kick, the decision. And there's a bit of urgency all of a sudden in Sydney Uni.
I think they've missed that for most of the game this evening. Just like you said earlier, I think the Tigers are more hungry. They just want it more.
Here's Collister, has Flannery ahead of her. Two subs looking to make an impact on this game. That hasn't gone their way. McNulty just thumps it clear. Anywhere will do. I don't think it's the right time to be shutting up shop for the Tigers. They just need to keep the energy up. There's still just under 15 minutes of normal time remaining. I think we saw 4 goals. We mentioned the grand final last year, 4 goals in that time last year, so anything can happen.
Yeah, especially in this competition. We see it all the time. The last game of the season, the Tigers looked down and out and they're going to finish 4th in the competition ladder, and they ended up scoring 2 late goals to claw back into that top 3 spot. Anything's possible in this competition.
Wheeler shows good vision to find Martin. She tried to play it first time, hasn't worked out. works its way to the Northern Tigers. 4 letters away. Support joins her. Phillips, strong tackle from Tumouth. Ball and all, what was needed. There's a few Northern Tigers players starting just to stretch out their legs, perhaps a bit of cramp. It's been fairly high intensity.
Don't forget the Tigers didn't play the first round of semi-finals. They didn't play last week, so they obviously come into this one a lot more rested than the Northern Tigers. The Tigers have played all 3 times, so they haven't been easy games either.
Yes, I guess the luxury of being premiers, you only have to win once to book your grand final place, but then that inactivity could be the difference. We saw it in the men's with Wollongong Wolves. Sometimes that week off, momentum's a wonderful thing. It's with the Tigers at the moment.
Yeah, I think that week off really disrupts a lot of teams, and it may have done the negative. It may have the negative effect on Uni as well.
Foot race on here. Russell has the pace. Well done though, well managed in the end by Wilson. Just used the body well, let it run. Good signs with the game on the line.
The referee just hurrying up the Tigers players. We'll see how their game management is now as well. It's really important in games like this, at times like this.
Another header won by Steinmetz. She would be a contender for the man of the match, you'd have to say, if it stays this way. I don't have that decision. So too Uzunla, she has been great. Liza Campbell too. Are you judging? I'll leave it to you.
Yeah, I am.
We're not there yet though. Uni trying to muster an attack. 4-letter gets it clear, only as far as Courtney Vine, but couldn't control it. And now they can break. Arrowsmith with it. Needs to move it quickly. Back to Vine. Here's a moment. Sydney Uni, Collister, cries of shoot. Working on to the left. Took too long. Tigers got there in number. Great scramble, and you can hear it. The crowd starting to have a difference too. Trying to spur each side on. Don't know why Collister didn't just pull the trigger once she found space.
It's got to be a coach killer. It's so frustrating when the players made the space for herself and then they go back again and they close it up. It's not what you want to see.
Here is Suter. Good ball forward, find the target. Flannery on the scene, but Phillips beat it to it and says, we'll get it clear. There's some anxious looks at watchers in the Sydney Uni camp at Valentine Sports Park. Trailed by a goal to nil. They haven't trailed for 19 straight games.
Talking about that player of the game, I think if you could give it to the whole Tigers team, you really would. They've all been great today. It's hard to pick it.
Arrowsmith too. We mentioned she hasn't quite had the involvement in an attacking sense, but she's getting back, doing the work at both ends. Uni now a chance. Numbers in the area. Deflected. Will be a corner.
I think we'll be seeing Newbon making her way into the box soon. Not just yet though, still early days. The next few minutes, any more set pieces, and I think the Uni keeper will make her way up as well.
Just under 10 minutes of normal time remain. Uni need a goal, and they need it quickly. Flannery almost sat for her on the right boot. Take two. Suter sends it in the area. Flannery the target again. Chance for Vine. Here's the moment. Here's an equaliser. Just like that. We're level at 1-1, and Courtney Vine, she hasn't had many opportunities, but she takes one when presented.
Courtney Vine, this is what we spoke about at the start of the game. Give her a sniff and she'll take it. Again though, Northern Tigers will have to question their defence there. That ball wasn't cleared out well. Came back to Suter and she had too much time. But Courtney Vine, she shows her potential and why she's such a great young player.
2 goals in the 2018 grand final, another in 2019. And what a goal that could be to look back on. It has them back in the game, but it's the Tigers back on the attack. McNulty trying to work her magic into the area. She goes. Is that a corner? No. King just shepherds it out. Goal kick, and How does that change things?
Well, now it changes my thoughts on the player of the game too, so it's obviously going to be a battle now in the last 10.
Well, the Poznan is going on at the moment with the Northern Tigers.
I thought they'd be Sydney FC fans, not Western Sydney Wanderers fans, but we'll take it.
They're enjoying things, as we all are. We have a game now, just as we thought the Tigers were working their way towards the title. Sydney Uni take their chance. It's a mark of a champion team.
I told you they wouldn't lie down, and it's a team that has been drilled as a champion team, as a premiership winning team, a team that doesn't take a loss for an answer. I think also how will the Tigers now react to going, losing what they had in their hand. They had one hand on the trophy. How will they react now?
Well, they just need to keep the energy up. It's what's got them to this point. They are well and truly in the fight.
Jason Eager hasn't gone to the bench yet either, so he's still got a full bench of subs.
Now we hear the Sydney Uni fans for perhaps the first time tonight. They've been hardly very much silent throughout. Not now.
Here comes the response. Didn't take too long.
Well, we thought we had an atmosphere at Bankwest Stadium last night for the men's grand final. We have an atmosphere here as well, Valentine Sports Park, and we have a game.
VSP is where you want to be.
And if not, NPL New South Wales Facebook, Football New South Wales YouTube, they've come out in good number again tonight. And I think they're moving to their edge of the seat because we are in for one hell of a finish. Would it be Arrowsmith, who hasn't had too many chances on goal tonight? Another who only needs half a chance to win a grand final. You sense the next goal would surely win it. Campbell needs to be careful, as she has all night. Hasn't put a foot wrong. Here's an opportunity for Arrowsmith. 3 Uni defenders converge. Still she fights on. It's nice work from Wilson before that.
Parkas has left 2 players up top, so he wants to finish this in normal time. Doesn't want extra time.
Here's McNulty. She's had a war down this flank with Julianne Russell.
A lot of individual battles in this game. And I think at the end of the day, at the end of this 90, or the end of this possible 120, that's what will decide the game in the end.
Steinmetz couldn't link with McNulty on that occasion. You're just joining us. You've joined at an important time. Sydney Uni 1, Northern Tigers 1. Courtney Vine has given her side a chance. Just as when we thought the Northern Tigers were going to take the championship, Sydney Uni have found a goal. We close in on the end of 90 minutes. If it stays this way, we are off to extra time and potentially a penalty shootout. Turned over. Watkins again. Oh, couldn't find the run of Arrowsmith. Who do you favour at this point?
You'd have to say Uni's been at this stage before, and it's all about now how will that play on their minds. Will they have learned from that experience, or will it be playing at the back of their head? We let this slip last year as well.
But turns well in midfield. Need to find the feet of McNulty. Found Suter, the opposite number 7. Brown needs to stay cool. Hands it over. Caceres off and running. Flannery. Vine in behind. Important interception if I've ever seen one from Brush, because Vine was in on goal. 1-on-1.
Exactly right. What a pass that could have been from Flannery, but excellently well read by Ellie Brush. Intercepted, well, would have been almost a certain goal, I think.
Starting to see the shackles open up a little in that Tigers defence. More room afforded for Courtney Vine. Nikki Flannery as well. Uni playing with confidence now they have the goal. Vine doing the pressing.
To be fair to the Tigers, I thought that they wouldn't be able to keep up this tempo for the whole 90, but they really have.
Here's Wheeler. Collister charges down the right flank. Those fresh legs perhaps being a difference maker. Ryan proving her influence. Caceres been good since coming on. Flag up. Inside the final 5 minutes of normal time. The 90 almost up. We'll have 4 minutes additional.
As Alex Ferguson likes to call it, it's squeaky bum time.
You said it. Certainly some nerves around Valentine Sports Park. No question about that. Certainly nerves for those watching too. It is edge of your seat stuff. And I said in the pre-game chat that these grand finals, particularly in the women's competition, there always seems to be a bit of drama. The grand finals tend to deliver thrillers. We saw one certainly last year. This is proving no exception.
It wouldn't be that in the women's competition if there was no drama, as you say, and they're living up to it once more. Northern Tigers, the clear underdog here today. They've really put on a great performance. Regardless what the result is, they've got to be happy, and I'm sure they'll be very proud of themselves for what they've put on show here today.
Well, they don't want to work as hard as they have for second place. They want the championship. They'll have to work a little harder to wrestle it out of Sydney Uni's hands. They can score here in stoppage time. That would be the championship, surely. Or do we go and play another 30 minutes?
I think if we do go to extra time, you've got to have your money on Sydney Uni. I just think that they've got that little bit more, and they'll have the momentum moving into that extra 30 minutes.
Well, they started to look a little rattled as they chased the goal, but since the goal, they've found their composure again. They've found their groove. They're on top at the moment.
Not a typical Uni performance by any stretch, but they're still in the game, and I think that really underlines how good this team is. But again, you can't take anything away from the Tigers. They've been great value.
Flannery goes all the way back to Taryn King. Caceres has it taken from her. Steinmetz, another that's been impressive tonight. Uzenla, good long ball forward. Too much on it though for McNulty. That just about takes us to the end of regulation time. Don't think anyone will have any complaints about extra time tonight.
We just want the football to keep going.
Well, can Uni win it late? Saw some late drama. Georgia Yeomandale won it in the final seconds in 2018. Does it happen again? This time in Uni's favour. Tumut's ball. Trying to find Collister in behind. It works its way back to the Tigers. Free kick just relieves the pressure. Phillips.
I'd love to have a statistic how many of these women's games, women's finals have gone to extra time in the last few years. I think the only one that didn't go to extra time was the one when Uni defeated the Northwest Sydney Koalas a couple of years ago.
Flag up on McNulty. We'll get a chance to dive into that when we do head to extra time, which is only a few seconds away. Is there one final chance for Sydney Uni to win it? No, there's not. We go to extra time. Both sides had their moments in that second half. Sydney Uni, you feel probably finished the stronger, but all plaudits must go to the Northern Tigers. They were on top for the most part of the game. They took their chance in spectacular fashion.
You also look at the energy there of the Uni players. They're all jogging off the field. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that the Tigers players are pretty spent right now, and it's going to be a really tough 30 minutes for them. I'm afraid I think Uni could overrun them now, but again, they've really defied the odds so far, and it wouldn't surprise me if they did it again.
Well, just recapping the goal scorers, if you're late in joining us, no surprise, Courtney Vine got in on the act with a goal again in the grand final, but it was Emma Watkins with a spectacular finish that put the Northern Tigers in front, and then a late goal to Courtney Vine has made it 1-1. So we'll go to extra time, another 30 minutes, and if it's still level, we go to penalties. And as much as I love calling shootouts, I just get the sense we're not going to go there. I agree with you. I think that since that goal, the Northern Tigers had to go again, and they just haven't quite. Sydney Uni were on top as we finished regulation time.
And as we said earlier, you know, Sydney Uni has been here last year. They know what it is to be at this point of the game, and I think that that might be their advantage going into this extra 30 minutes, along with the Northern Tigers being so spent and playing week after week. It's the 26th game of the season for them, you know, and it's 3 games more than what Sydney Uni's played this year. So I think it'll be really tough for them to come out in this 30, but it's the last game for 6 months or so, so you leave everything you have on the park in this last 30.
We asked me before about extra time. I've dove into my notes, and obviously last year we went there, Macarthur Rams and Sydney University. We went there the year before that, Manly United and the Macarthur Rams, and obviously that Sydney Uni, Northwest Sydney Koalas, 2006, the students prevailing 2-1 in regulation time. 2015 we went to extra time again, so it's 3 and 4 years in the NPL.
On the money, I think I've memorised that well, so
that's why we are paid so highly.
Exactly.
And are given the grand occasion that is the NPL Women's Grand Final, and what an occasion it has proven again in 2019.
Like I said, it's been tough to separate these teams this year, and again, week after week, they keep putting on these performances, and they really do deserve to be where they are, and it will all come down to this final 30 minutes and potentially a penalty shootout. Not the greatest way to finish your season if you're the losing team, but what a way to win the competition.
Yeah, and it hasn't quite been the goal fest we've seen in recent seasons. We talked about how grand finals often in this competition have been absolute goal-scoring bonanzas, but it's been a different kind of game. It's been more of a tactical battle. Sydney Uni haven't quite found their game today. The Northern Tigers, it's been all about enthusiasm for them, but they have to go again here in extra time.
That's the thing. I think they've really put a lot of energy into this, and they did want this, well, they do want this more, it seemed, throughout that first 90 minutes, but it may have just taken a little bit too much from them. Again, they've got leaders in that side. They've got Ellie Brush, they've got Savet Uzunla, who's been fantastic, Eliza Campbell. It's a team with a lot of experience mixed in with these really good youngsters as well, so anything can come from this extra time, but I think it will go the way of Sydney Uni, just with their 1 year extra experience. You know, they've been here, they didn't get what they were looking for last year, so I think that'll come a long way in helping them in this 30.
Yeah, perhaps some added desperation given the hurdle they fell at the same stage last year. Time will tell, and we talked about it in the 90 minutes, but is that a factor too, the workload of the Northern Tigers? Does that come back to bite them? The fresher Sydney Uni, they've made all their changes as well, so there's a little bit more fresh legs out there. Saying that, they are making a change now, the Northern Tigers. So Emma Smith to come on for Josie Wilson.
It's an interesting change too. Josie Wilson in the previous games has been really active, getting up and down the right flank. Today she wasn't as active. She did a great job on Julianne Russell. I think it'll be a massive test now for Emma Smith up against the likes of Russell and Caceres and Vine.
Well, strap yourselves in. Extra time underway. We need to find a winner. If not in extra time, we'll do it in a penalty shootout. Couldn't split them after the 90 minutes. 1-1. The fight rages on here at Valentine Sports Park.
It's been quite a physical battle as well today. The girls have really got stuck in, and I mean that midfield battle between those three, the wing battles, everywhere all over the park, there's some sort of a battle going on.
Throw will go the way of the Tigers. There's a real hush over the venue now. Northern Tigers not quite in the voice they've been throughout the game. Sydney Uni as well.
Unfortunately, only a couple hours ago, the Northern Tigers men's team did go down in their elimination semi-final in the added 30 minutes, and the girls will be hoping for something different.
Suter settles it for King. Done a great job, the Tigers, to get to this point. Worked so hard. Did give up a late goal. They'll have to keep it going in extra time against the side that everyone expected to lift the championship today. I mentioned the undefeated streak, 19 games to this point. Hadn't conceded for 9. That has all changed today. Collister, was she having her shirt tugged by Four-Letter? She was.
Got a question for you, Adam. If you're to pick player of the game for Sydney Uni, which way would you go with that one?
I'd have to say Courtney Vine. I had about 4 or 5 suggestions for the Tigers. I think
Tori Tumeth has been standout as well at the back for Uni.
I think Julianne Russell would be a contender as well. They've got to win it first. It could go either way, really. Thankfully, you have that duty tonight, not myself, so all the pressure goes to you.
Lucky me. Looking forward to it. Not looking forward to the women's season coming to an end, though. It's been quite the campaign, and I've enjoyed every week reporting on the top tier of women's football in New South Wales. I look forward to doing it all again in 6 months, when we restart the engines and we go again.
This could be a terminal injury for the Northern Tigers. Not what you want in extra time.
I think it's the left back, Izzy Folletta. That could be a massive issue for Jason Eager's team. He's really not looking toward the bench, though. He's hoping that she's going to get back on.
There's a bit of a thumbs up, but they are warming up some potential substitutes. Not having to make it yet. They're going to have to get the defensive duties in order because Sutar's over. The free kick sends it to a dangerous area. Russell's there. Tigers need to see this clear. Handed it back. Sutar again a chance. Tigers need to be smart. Worked well by Watkins. She gave them the lead. Now doing defensive work. Does well not to concede the corner. Here is Tumeth. Has Wheeler in support. Choose to go to Collister. Jinks her way. Past the defender. Into the area. Good looking ball too. Steinmetz there. As she has been throughout the night. Still Sydney Uni commanding possession in this first extra time period. Collister deflected. Almost set up again. No surprise it was Courtney Vine. Emma Smith gets a touch. Phillips goes without. Seems to be a little bit proppy, perhaps a bit of cramp coming in. I mentioned the workload they've had in recent weeks. No one able to get on the end of that one, but sure are enjoying it, and they are going to make a change. So, Folletta cannot continue. So, change made. So, Beth Bernardi on as her replacement.
Tactical change as well for the Tigers. Amy Phillips now has gone into Folletta's role at left back. Bernardi will move into Phillips' left wing role.
Here she is on the ball. Straight away, surging forward, but Wheeler, one possession back. Tigers commanding things here in extra time, as we suggested. Brush needs to get a move on. Flannery almost picked a pocket, falls to Collister. Flannery's still an option, support in the middle too. They'll win a corner.
She's been good since she's come on, Nikki Flannery. Made a bit of a difference. Now Collister and Caceres, it's really the substitutes that have got Alex Epakis' team going in this second period.
We thought he was a little aggressive in his substitutes. They came fairly early, but they made an impact. So
he needed something to really shake the squad up, and I think that's what did the trick. And now they're into this final 30 minutes of extra time.
So defensive work again for the Tigers. They go with the short corner. Russell presents to Sutar. Sutar's delivery. Dangerous ball in. Seen clear for now. Collister on the follow-up. That was an important challenge on the edge of the area. Works its way to Caceres. Should be a uni throw. It is.
But again, the Tigers did concede that goal from a set piece, and it's obviously somewhere uni feel they can really hurt the Northern Tigers, so they're going to have to be careful as the game comes to an end. There'll be a lot more set pieces coming about.
They do like that short corner too to take them out of their structure. Russell works away onto the left and tries to cut back on the right. Trying to hem the Tigers in there. They'll get the throw.
Thought that one could have went the other way as well.
That one.
Really see the game changing now, and the Northern Tigers taking a stranglehold on it. Sorry, Sydney Uni.
Yeah, I feel the fuel might be lightening in terms of the Tigers' tank. They've worked so hard. They'll need to go again though here in extra time. They don't want to hand it back in this part of the pitch. King, Tumeth, touch was heavy. Almost paid a price, but works its way out to Martin. Flannery clipped, free kick. Just over halfway through the first half of extra time. If you're tuning in, you've missed plenty. Sydney Uni 1, Northern Tigers 1.
And a special goal that'll make the highlight reel, I'm sure.
Sutar trying to add to that. Drifts it in the area. Campbell's off the line. Russell hangs it up there. Not dealt with by the Tigers. Steinmetz again. Gets it clear. Time and time again tonight. Both sides of the pitch. Important work from the number 10. Here's a chance again though for Sydney Uni to just apply a bit of pressure.
I can see these set pieces becoming more and more threatening now for the Tigers. They're going to keep coming.
It creates a bit of panic. We know what that does when games are tight like this. Sutar, delivery. Goes to the near post. All the Tigers there. Fall all the way out to Wheeler. Thought she might size it up on the right. Caceres helped it on. Phillips. Could have played a pass forward, but took the right option to go back to Brush.
Just looking now, I think Uni's going to have to be careful as well to not get caught on the counter. They had one player only back there, and luckily for them, Phillips couldn't get the ball away.
Tight and tense here in the 2019 Women's NPL Grand Final. Sydney Uni and the Northern Tigers as advertised. Turned over though. Crucial part of the pitch. Can they hit them on the break? They've got some numbers as well, and there's a foot race on. Emma Smith beat Russell to it. They'll get the throw. Watkins turning. Steinmetz goes without. Vine with it. She'll look up and see four Northern Tigers defenders. Support coming. Collister. Is that a stray arm perhaps collecting Collister in the face? She'll continue. McNulty trying to do the defensive work. She breezes straight past it. Great delivery too. Flannery couldn't make it count.
Excellent work there by Collister. It looked as though she'd given up and then, like a phoenix rose and got beyond her marker and delivered a great ball, really. I think the Tigers are just going to really pack it in now and really just wait for that penalty shootout. If Stunning pops up on the break, they'll take it, but...
Here's Suter. Uni creating chances. Tigers hanging in there. Steinmetz. Been great tonight. Bernardi making a difference off the bench. Bart's ball. Can't find the number 30. Works its way to her though. Arrowsmith. Quiet. Steinmetz a chance. They're surging all of a sudden. End-to-end stuff. Players start to fatigue. This game will open up. Uzenla leaves it for Watkins. She had too much on that one. Three minutes remain in the first half of extra time. A reminder, if it stays this way, we go to penalties. Important tackle there from Brush.
Vine looks like the game's just started for her. She's full of energy. They've played over 100 minutes.
Here's Caceres. There's changes they've made though. Caceres, Collister and Flannery, they're the ones making the impact. Flannery just helps it forward. Uzenla. Nice vision, just opens things up. Gannon Smith off and running. Russell re-engages their battle. Ball could have been better for Bart. She had to stretch. She gets it here though. Uzenla.
I've got to say, I love watching Seville Uzenla play. The technique is unbelievable.
Daisy Arrowsmith just pulls a little too long. Works its way out to Phillips anyway. Well, I think she'd get my vote if the Tigers are to win it today. I think she's been...
She plays a lot of ease.
There's a foot race on here though. Nervy moment, but contended with well by the Northern Tigers. They've got the numbers defensively. Don't need a hand over possession.
Brush has been great as well. Don't forget she got that yellow card really early and she's been playing with that over her head for over 70 minutes. So she's done a really good job as well.
I think with Uzenla, not only has she been a leader out there, but she's led the physicality. You know, a couple of times she's thrown her body into challenges and won some important free kicks too. So that's really set the tempo for the Tigers, and it's why they're in the position they're in. Suter. Nice feet. Play on. Ball in behind. Here's the moment. McNulty in the area. Support in the middle. Chance for Arrowsmith. Oh, wouldn't sit for her. Newman was off a line.
What a chance for the Tigers. I thought that was it. I thought Arrowsmith was going to get on the end of that one, but she couldn't get there.
We said Sydney Uni was surging. Hold the phone. It's the Tigers. Watkins.
How about that noise raise out of nowhere as well?
Closing in on half-time and extra time. McNulty starting to have an influence. Almost found the pass. She's gone on the deck, may have copped a late challenge. We'll have 1 minute of time added on. McNulty has stayed down. Do have another change up their sleeve. 2 with the additional and extra time. I won't want to make it here though, because McNulty has been very good tonight. I was keeping my eye on the ball. I don't know if it was perhaps a stray arm or just a late challenge after she gave possession away.
Could be that dreaded cramp as well, so late on in the game.
Well, Uni sportingly are going to hand it back. Just about take us to half-time in extra time. Twists and turns here in the 2019 Grand Final. Just when we thought Sydney Uni were going to seize the game, it's the Tigers firing their own shots.
And credit to both teams, the tempo's really stayed at a high level, even at this late stage of the game.
But links well with Arrowsmith. We'll get it here again. McNulty, good run to the edge of the area. Needs support. Couldn't find the feet of Bernardi. I'll still get the throw though. Half time in extra time. And we remain locked at 1-1. And just when we thought Sydney Uni, they had all that possession, but it's the Northern Tigers who ended that half pushing the pace.
Well, they had a really great chance in that extra period and they could have hit the front once more, but Arrowsmith just inches away from tapping the ball into the back of the net. I don't think they'll really get a break here. I think it's just a change of ends. And the second period of extra time kicks off. And it looks as though the Cops moving as well to get behind their team, behind the other goal.
There's a procession. If we do go to penalties, wonder what end they will choose, because if it is behind the Northern Tigers end, it can make life a little more difficult for Sydney Uni.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that you're really looking forward to a penalty shootout here.
Players hate them. I love calling them personally, but just because of the drama.
Everyone loves a penalty shootout if you're a neutral, so I'm sure there'll be a lot of people at home watching this and looking forward to some spot kicks.
It's obviously easy for the commentator to, not always an easy job in the shootout, to do some quick mathematics, count to 5.
Yesterday's under-20s grand final went to
and
a
under-18s as well.
pretty intense penalty shootout. I think there was 7 saves by the goalkeepers.
Yeah, both of the youth grand finals, the 18s and 20s, went to penalties. The men's obviously went to extra time.
In particular, the 20s goalkeeper from the Sutherland Sharks, Mario Alexic, made a few incredible saves in that shootout.
We'll do it again. Second half of extra time.
I think if the game was to go to extra time, to a penalty shootout, you'd have to look at the goalkeepers. As mentioned just then, in the 20s, they both put on quite a performance. Which one will do the better job here? Would it be Newborn or Campbell?
Well, both obviously don't have a clean sheet, but I thought Eliza Campbell's been great. Newborn likewise. They'll have to potentially win their side a championship in a shootout if it stays level. Steinmetz. Phillips has dropped a little more defensively. McNulty coming into the game more and more as she's switched to this left flank. Trying to work her way onto the left.
It's almost as though McNulty didn't play the game for about 75 minutes and she's come alive since the 75th minute.
Yeah, I think down that right flank, she was in that tussle with Julianne Russell. On the left, she's got a lot more freedom, starting to impose herself a little.
Hints of a foul throw there as well from Phillips.
Steinmetz gives Uzenla some work to do. Again, Some Tigers players going through their stretches. Muscles tightening, cramp setting in. A long and hard season, and they're forced to go again here in extra time. Well, to this point, extra time hasn't presented too many clear-cut opportunities.
Despite so many finals going to extra time, none have gone to a penalty shootout, so we could be in for the first penalty shootout in a very long time in the top tier of football in New South Wales women's competition.
So Sutar over it. She's been good with her delivery. Again, sent forward. Well won. Uzenla, no surprise yet again. Here's Collister. McNulty and Phillips doubling up. Collister trying to find a way past Phillips. Phillips felt she was getting fouled and officials agree. Well, I'm sure you've enjoyed this. The NPL New South Wales Facebook page, Football New South Wales YouTube. Adam Santarossa and Nicola Posda here with you. What is it about the women's NPL and grand finals that have plenty of drama in them? Another beauty here today. Not done with just yet. Wheeler with it.
It's a great advertisement for the women's game as well. If you want to watch a final, just look back previous years. You will not be disappointed.
Sutar. Steinmetz fouling, and it was one you'd probably take because Sutar was through on goal.
This is Rachel Sutar range, without a doubt. A little bit closer than her earlier two efforts, and I'm sure Eliza Campbell will be right on setting up this wall and being prepared for this.
Well, she's put 4 in the wall. This is a moment in this grand final. Talked about the weapon she presents at the set piece.
We've seen Alex Roberts do it from the Spartans this year, time and time again. Rachel Sutar, another. It's got a fine set piece.
The script is written for Sutar. What can she deliver? Second chance at it. Wall did its job. Not entirely clear though. A little bit scrappy on the edge of the area. Anywhere will do, and Phillips does the job.
And look, the tired effort there from Sutar.
Collister. Again, Phillips steps up and sees it clear. Steinmetz can't get it clear. McNulty just thumps it long. Safety first. Tigers getting everyone behind the ball, trying to clog those passing lanes. Flannery, though, on the end of this one. Had to stretch to keep it in, but did so. Julianne Russell. 3 Northern Tigers players. Was she checked? No, says referee. Goal kick. Has stayed down to Julianne Russell. Campbell restarts us. Flannery with it. Scored in that grand final last year. Vine backed up her effort for 2018, for 2019. Can Flannery do likewise? Free kick will go to the Tigers. Julianne Russell in the mix again. 9.5 minutes till penalties.
We're getting closer, Adam. It's getting very close. Another yellow card there, this time to Julianne Russell.
Yeah, perhaps a bit of dissent, bit of frustration creeping in. A few players now on yellow cards. We're 11 on 11 to this point. McNulty gets it forward. That was important for Sydney Uni, and they can hit them the other way. Flannery in behind. Find the assist. Here's a chance. Flannery! Campbell got back there, but Flannery just couldn't get it to dip enough.
I think there was an arm over Flannery's shoulder as well from Ellie Brush. She just did enough to put her off within the rules. The referee pulling her up there. She would have been seeing a red card definitely for that one.
Well, that was a great chance. Just couldn't take it. Almost Sean Simmons-esque last night for Apia in extra time. Won them a championship. Certainly would have won it had Nikki Flannery found the back of the net. Here's Brush. Steinmetz. McNulty can't keep it in.
Good to see the Tigers have brought their mascot over as well.
So change coming. Phillips is going to make way, and no real surprise. She was one of those players who was struggling a little with cramp.
Another technical change as well. Emma Smith's moved to the left back.
And Sophie de Montmas on. Still one change for the Tigers if they want to use it. Both sides get an additional in extra time. Final minutes of it. Watkins already one goal tonight. Good vision. Surging forward. It's the substitute. De Montmas. Good delivery too. Just couldn't pick out a Tigers player.
Again, look at the discipline from the Tigers though. They've already got 4 players back.
Communication has to be spot on, and credit to them it was. Brush and Smith. Brush forced to go again. Well done though. Under the pressure of Courtney Vine. Well done. Expertly well from the number 4. Watkins. Well done. Steinmetz. Tigers finding another gear. Laid on. Again, it's that effort. Keeping them in this game. Maddie Bart. De Montmas making a difference. Her second touch. Arrowsmith. Is she offside? Flag stays down. Turning in the area. Can she find a teammate? Bernardi. Cut out by Uni. Wilson-La. Now it's Uni looking a little bit stretched. Bart in behind. Corner. Just under 6 minutes remain here in extra time. It's got that next goal wins feel about it though.
I have to agree. I think the next team that finds the back of the net will be lifting that trophy not too far away.
What a moment this would be for the Tigers. Been so gallant all afternoon. Steinmetz got a fair piece at it. Newburn hasn't got there. Uni see it clear. Players down in the area. Cries for Uni to get it out. They haven't got it clear. Watkins forward. Almost takes out the down player, and now we will get the stoppage. Is Taryn King potentially down?
So is Vine. I think they're really starting to feel the pinch. We thought it'd happen the other way, but
Oh, look at the body language of all players. They've been a high intensity grand final. Certainly seeing the effects of that.
Not too far away now.
We talked about the medal of some of these young Tigers players. There's 5 at least initially. They're going to have to put their hand up to take a penalty.
Well, I'm going to guess that Savette Wilson-La will definitely be one of those, being the more experienced.
Do you think either coach had planned there?
I'd say that Jason Eager definitely would have had his team practicing, but I think that Alex Apakis would have expected his team to have finished this in 90 minutes. So I don't think the Uni players would have been practicing penalties, but Northern Tigers may well have been.
So 4 minutes remain. There'll more than likely be another minute of stoppage. Oh, they get in each other's way. Vine leading the charge, wins the ball. Was she fouled? She was. Right on the edge of the area.
A little bit of afters there too with Vine and Uzunla. But a clear foul. No questions asked there. From myself anyway. I thought it was a foul.
Well, Uni players saying it was in the area. We're in a pretty good position here. I don't agree. I think it's a good decision.
The referee hasn't made too many bad calls tonight, to be honest. I think she's had a fairly good game. Her first grand final in senior women's football.
They're also asking for a card, but I think fair challenge, if not mistimed. Presents a great chance in the dying stages for Sydney Uni. They haven't had it all their own way. Had to fight. Suter over the ball. Mentioned her quality. Hasn't quite provided it this close to goal. Campbell going with a four-person wall. Does Suter try to bend it, or does she tee it up for a teammate?
I saw that gap that she'd seen as well, but I think Campbell's just closed it all up there. It's going to be hard to get it around the wall. Not the tallest wall, though.
Suter for Sydney Uni. Surely would win it. Hangs it up there. Campbell plucks it out of the air with ease.
Comfortable take for the Tigers keeper, as it has been for most of the evening.
I know it would have been perhaps a bit selfish of Suter, but if I'm Alex Epakis, I'm telling her, test the keeper. Nerves about, dying moments, force her to make a save. Watkins. But forward, all numbers here. McNulty a chance to win it! And puts it over the bar.
That's another great chance. That's two fantastic chances in extra time, both the way of the Tigers. They haven't taken either.
Well,
I hate to say it, but I think this might cost them the championship.
Well, there were 3 Northern Tigers players.
We spoke about Sydney Uni pushing players forward, looking to end this in normal time, but it's the Tigers that have had the 2 chances.
14 minutes just about expired. Second half of extra time.
It was with 2 minutes to go as well. What a chance.
Smith. Question of nerve now. Both sides doing a good job holding theirs. Wheeler. Well done again from Ellie Brush. So smart, just played it in.
Can see that smile on your face, Adam. You know where we're headed. We're not too far away now. Last 30 seconds.
Ellie Brush, another who is a contender when we talk player of the game.
There might be just enough time for one more chance for either of these two.
4-on-4 at the back. McNulty spurned the chance earlier. Tied legs. Brush wins it again. Been done a few times tonight. Final seconds in what has been a thrilling grand final. We're going to have 2 minutes of time added on. Steinmetz, Smith, McNulty's out of gas. Courtney Vine. In fact, it's Martin. Sorry. Thought she was fouled, but Caceres helps it on to Collister. Vine in the middle. Collister in behind. Is there one final chance for Sydney Uni? Collister just skewed across.
Such a poor ball. You've really got to be disappointed if you're one of those players in the box, and Alex Epakis, and he's going to empty the bench too. I think that's Carla Trimboli.
Or is that so she can take a penalty?
I think that's the way Epakis is looking now.
Martin. Collister's cross had fatigue written all over it. It's been a fairly intense game. Tigers have made them work. Hasn't been as many expected Sydney Uni to have it their own way as they have for most of the regular season. I mentioned earlier, 19-game unbeaten run Sydney Uni. They hadn't conceded a goal for 9 games. Rip up the form guide. Caceres. Free kick. Card coming. It'll be yellow. Matty Bart.
I know it's unsportsmanlike, but it was the right foul to make for the Northern Tigers. Matty Bart, very smart there, fouling Caceres. It looked like Caceres was on her way. She had lots of options available. This will be the last chance of the game before we head into that penalty shootout.
Kenneth Sutar over the ball. Had a handful of opportunities here tonight. Haven't turned them into a goal. We thought it would be an avenue at some point. Is it in the final seconds? In what has been an amazing grand final. De Sutar go to goal. Go straight into the wall. Still there a chance. Russell turning. Working to the left. Steinmetz yet again on the scene. And it is full time. We will go to a penalty shootout.
What a way to finish this season in NPL New South Wales women's football. A penalty shootout will decide the 2019 champion.
Well, I think both teams take a bow. It has been a great grand final. Sydney Uni, they were made to fight to get back into it. They took their chance. Courtney Vine again. But the Northern Tigers, they just have not stopped since the opening whistle. It's been their energy, their enthusiasm, their want that's got them here. They now have a shootout to win a championship.
They've earned this. I know they'll be somewhat disappointed they didn't finish it in normal time having led, but they've earned this opportunity to, have a chance to lift the championship trophy. They've worked so hard. And now 5 spot kicks each. We'll see how we go. We might need more.
Who are we backing at this point? Is it the experience of Uni, or again does that pressure come into it? The expectation that Uni would turn that premiership into a championship, does that play a part too?
I think in the case of a penalty shootout, you have to analyse both goalkeepers and the players. If we're looking at goalkeepers, Courtney Newbond's a fantastic keeper, but Eliza Campbell's got that experience at the highest level. So in terms of that, I think the Northern Tigers are in a slight advantage, but in terms of the players, I'm going to give Sydney Uni the advantage there. So again, I can't give you an answer. We can't have a draw, but I'll sit on the fence like Adam Peacock does all the time when he's tipping his A-League.
He's probably watching. He's a fan of the NPL New South Wales, particularly this competition.
So I'll sit on the fence like Adam Peacock with a slight nudge towards Sydney Uni lifting the trophy after this shootout. They just look a little bit more confident. What do you think?
I think the Tigers, I'd love to see them rewarded for the effort they've had. They've backs against the wall. They were the underdogs, big underdogs coming in. It's always a great story, but well, it's right up there for anyone to take. Talked about composure all day. This is the ultimate test of it.
Just looks like Uni's really ready for this, whereas I think the Tigers... But then again, the Tigers got nothing to lose. It's Sydney Uni with everything sort of to lose. They are the premiers, and they were in a similar situation last year where they lost in extra time. They got it to penalties now.
Well, we don't know who the winner is in terms of the Northern Tigers and Sydney University, but we know we're all winners for watching this one. Yet again, it's delivered. Women's football in the NPL New South Wales.
We've had some spectacular games this season, and this one's no different.
And there's a mad dash all of a sudden. The Northern Tigers want to get behind, as it looks like we're going to use goal here at the southern end. Valentine Sports Park, no confirmation of that just yet. Coin toss about to be taken with our officials.
And I think they may have moved too soon. The shootout could be at the northern end. In fact, they're still doing a coin toss.
Well, time will tell. I don't think anyone expected penalties going into this one.
Definitely not, and the dashes started the other way. You'll see them all very soon at the other end.
I don't think they're actually going to be allowed to be behind that goal, which probably...
I don't think they're allowed to be directly behind the goal. They have to be just off. But I don't think that'll matter too much. The camera pans out to them. You'll see them all. There's going to be a whole group of them in that corner in about 20 seconds.
And there's a Sydney Uni contingent on its way as well. So they've battled in the stands and on the pitch in terms of their voices anyway. They've made great atmosphere here at Valentine Sports Park on what has been a great day. Great advertisement for women's football, as we said. In this competition, it seems to deliver every year, particularly on grand final day. Bit of a delay in the shootout. If I'm one of those players, I'm saying get on with it. The nerves would only mount.
The longer this walk-up takes, the more you're thinking about it. But usually these players will have a side picked. They'll know which way they're going.
Well, I think that's the advice, is pick and stick. Pick your spot, put a fair bit behind it. Even if the keeper goes the right way. Take some saving. Courtney Vine first up on the score sheet tonight. Now, she has been throughout the season. Here's a test for her though.
New rules for goalkeepers as well in penalty shootouts. They have to have at least 1 foot on the line, otherwise the penalty gets retaken.
Vine v Campbell. Vine has already beaten her from open play. Can she beat her from the spot here? Start Sydney Uni in the positive. She can.
Straight down the middle from Courtney Vine. Campbell went the wrong way.
Svetelsen-La, we mentioned she'd be probably the first. Confirmation she will be.
Just shows the leadership qualities she has. Captain of the Northern Tigers, and she'll step up first to show her young teammates the right way to go. And should she score here, I think it'll give her team a lot of confidence, especially the younger players. Should she miss though?
Well, she has been brilliant tonight, but as we know, football can be a cruel game. Things can change very quickly. She needs to stay composed from the spot. Hardest walk in football. The keeper's level at 1-1. Uzenla saved by Newborn.
That was a great penalty, but the save was just as good. She did fantastically well there. Courtney Newborn, it wasn't a perfect height for her, but still, she did really well to keep that one out. Not the start the Tigers wanted.
Rachel Suter next for the students. They're going with their more experienced.
We talked up Servette all day with her set pieces. She's missed. Will Suter follow suit?
It's what pressure does. It's at its highest point. Suter can give them an advantage here, and she scores. Tucks it in that left corner.
Great penalty from Suter. Low into the side netting. Even if Campbell went the right way, I think she would have struggled to get there. Ellie Brush next for the Tigers.
Another who hardly put a foot wrong in the 90 minutes. Along with Uzenla. Spoke of their importance, their experience. It'll be tested again. Newborn already saved once. Brush on the penalty spot. They need this one. Newborn saves again!
What a start. Courtney Newborn. This is where these goalkeepers make a name for themselves. Excellent work by Newborn once more. You just heard the hush around the stadium. You could feel it.
Mel Caceres up next for Sydney Uni.
This would almost complete it for Uni. Should she score, and Newbon save the next penalty, it'll be all over.
Would have been perfect to this point. 2-0 in the shootout as it stands.
Mind games from Campbell, stepping up really close there to Caceres.
Substitute tonight, Mel Caceres. Can she keep the perfect record up? She can. Cool, calm and composed. 3-0 to this point. And as you said, Nicola, they have to score here.
So much pressure on this young girl now. She misses, and that's the season for the Northern Tigers. That's what it does. That's what these penalty shootouts do. I believe it's the substitute, Emma Smith.
So a young player asked to take on some responsibility.
So I think it's Daisy Arrowsmith, actually.
It is Daisy Arrowsmith. Here she is, being the lethal boot tonight. She scores. That gives them some hope. She was the goal scorer all season long. Didn't have some opportunities tonight, but she kept cool in the shootout when she needed to, and that keeps them in it.
Definitely a special penalty, finding the top corner. A lot of nerve to go for that one. Newbon, no chance. Even if she picked the right way, she was never saving that one.
Well, this will win it for Flannery if this goes in. So they need to force a save. Eliza Campbell.
12 months ago, they were at the same place.
Flannery scored in the 2018 Grand Final. Needs to do it from the spot here. She does! And Sydney Uni turned their premiership into a championship. And the demons of last season are put to bed. And look what it means to them. They've had to work and go to a shootout. But Sydney Uni will lift the trophy in 2019.
What a season from Sydney University. They've done the double. They did the double a few years ago as well. They've repeated it once more this year. What a season from them. But also, has to be said, commiserations to the Northern Tigers. They were fantastic this year. They were fantastic tonight, but it just wasn't enough. Cruel penalty shootout, giving the title to Sydney University.
Well, we have to make mention of the Northern Tigers. Everyone you talked to about this grand final today said, oh, Sydney Uni, 19-game undefeated run. They hadn't conceded for 9 games. They were going to do it easy. Not so. The Tigers made them work all the way to a shootout and had their chances to win it in extra time as well. All in all, a great advertisement for women's football and this competition.
And also, special mention has to go to Courtney Newbon. 2 great saves in the shootout. I said that first one, should Uzunla score, it'll change the mood of her team. She didn't put it away, and unfortunately, it didn't go the way of the Tigers. Newbon coming up trumps in the shootout. And Sydney Uni are 2019 Women's NPL New South Wales champions.
And those demons I spoke of put to bed. Premiers last year as well, but it was the Macarthur Rams who took the title off them in another epic here at Valentine Sports Park, and we did debate it throughout. Man of the match.
I'm going to have to give it to Servet Uzunla. Even though the Northern Tigers didn't win this evening, I think Servet, her performance as a leader, she really stepped up today, and she showed how much she means to this football club. Even though she missed a penalty at the end, it doesn't really matter. She was fantastic all night. And really, I think she's shown why she's the captain of this side and a true leader.
I'm too excited from what we've just seen. Woman of the match, obviously, I have to say, correct myself. But I have to agree as well. I think Servet Uzunla said in the call, she led not only with her experience on the pitch and in some tense moments, but also her physicality. She wanted to really take the game to Sydney Uni, so I'm in full agreement. I think she is a worthy recipient, and it's a cool game, as I said. Hadn't put a foot wrong. I think herself and also Ellie Brush was so good at the back there for the Tigers, but that's penalties, unfortunately.
And as well, sportingly, shaking hands after the match, both teams. Great to see. They really did battle for the full 120 minutes plus penalties. And really, to see this at the end of the game, it's great for women's football.
And what does that do for potentially next season? Northern Tigers 9th. And good to see the Tigers going over and thanking their travelling support, who you mentioned were in action today, so they made the dash here as quickly as they could. There were as much as 10 men's teams making the effort, so it's great to see such unity in the club. And, well, from what we saw today in the women's side and the men's involved in finals action, they're a club really going good places.
And not just that, you know, as we said, the men's team played, but they also lost in an extra time game, and despite being down after a defeat, they still came. And for me, I'll take my hat off to the Northern Tigers men's team. Well done to them, and they've supported them through this whole final series. It's great to see from the Northern Tigers.
I know we're talking up the Tigers, but Sydney Uni as well, the champions, they had a weight of expectation on them today. They were made to work, but ultimately they did get it done.
Look, I think Sydney Uni this season has been the best team in this competition. They were pushed to the absolute limits today, and to prevail in a game where they probably weren't at their best, I think that speaks volumes of how good this team actually is and the quality they possess. Moving forward, this team, it's a very young team, and I'm sure they'll dominate for years to come. But as will the Northern Tigers, who've shown that they've got a lot of quality, and this is their first season in finals football. So to make the grand final after finishing 9th last year, I think is an incredible feat for them. I look forward to calling both teams next season.
And I'm sure you've enjoyed it wherever you've been watching. We've had a great audience throughout the year in the NPL New South Wales Women's. As all our competitions, of course, the live coverage here in 2019.
Football New South Wales would like to thank their sponsors, TAFE New South Wales, Wholesale Trophies, and the official ball sponsor of the National Premier League Championship Series, MIDA. To assist with the presentation of trophies and medals today will be the CEO of Football New South Wales, Mr. Stuart Hodge, and from the Board of Directors of Football New South Wales, Mr. Rob Laws. Please make them welcome. Our first presentation will be to our player of the match, which has been determined by the Football New South Wales Media Department. And the winner of the player of the match comes from Northern Tigers, their captain, Sadet Uzumar. Now I'd like to call forward our match officials, our referee Isabella Libri, our assistant referees Sarah Ho and Maddie Allen, and our fourth official Kelly Jones. Now I'd like to call back to the microphone the captain from Northern Tigers, Sadet Uzumar.
Hello? Okay. Firstly, I just want to say congratulations to Sydney Uni. You guys are a great team, and it was a great game, so congratulations. To my Tigers, amazing season that we've had. It's an honour to walk out on the pitch with you girls, and unfortunately we couldn't get it done today, but super proud of you all. Thanks to everyone that came and watched, supporters from both Sydney Uni and Northern Tigers. We really appreciate it. And thank you to the referees as well and everyone who puts this event on today. Emma, KK, Hardy, Malia, Daisy, is that Erica? Erica. Oh my god, I'm going blank. Josie, Hannah, Izzy, Sophie, Eliza, Flea, Saba, Ellie, Beth. Verity, come on up here. Eloise, Pat and Jason, come on down.
Ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause for our runners-up today, Northern Tigers. Now I'd like to call the captain from our champions today from Sydney, Taryn King.
First of all, I'd like to start with thanking Northern Tigers for a great season that they've had. They've been our best competition all year, and they really took it to us tonight. We had us worried for a while too, but yeah. Secondly, I'd like to thank the referees. We had another good game. They've been good all season, so thank you. Thirdly, I'm going to make two shout-outs. One for the crowd tonight. Even though probably 70% of them were Northern Tigers. It's really great to see the turnout that you guys brought tonight. It's awesome that the boys club has such a huge respect for the women, and the fact that they made a massive effort to come out and watch and really make it second shout out to our Resi's girls. It wasn't to be today. It is what it is, but they've had just as good, if not a better season than what we have. And this trophy that we've got now is as much yours as it is ours. So. Lastly, to the girls sitting down here and our coaching staff. I don't really have much to say, but I love you guys a lot. I couldn't be more proud to captain you guys, so yeah, I'm stoked for us, and let's have a big one. Jules, Court, Shah, Mel, Rash, Annabelle, the super keeper, Court, Monica, Wills, Nikki, Carly T, Lords, Tori, Tegan, Holly, Fletch, Claire, Roz, and the coaches, Nikolai, Simon, Chris, Alex, Maisie, Trin, and John.
So, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for our champions in the NPL Women's.
Never enough. That's it for today? No. That's fine, no problem. Unless, when I know what I'm doing.
No, that's fine, it's fine.
No.